Chapter 1820. From their point of view, this was definitely a rare opportunity. As the most powerful force on this continent, there was nothing wrong with such a force trying to rope you in. Of course, this was not entirely true. This was the strongest force of the human race. Lin Xian said, "How should I put it? They seem to be trying to rope me in, but in reality, it's probably because of Lin and City. Of course, even if I join this Radiance Association, do you think they'll put in effort to nurture me? That's not necessarily true. You'll definitely be nurtured, but it's hard to say how powerful you'll be because in their eyes, your value is greater than your talent." Xiao Xinue said. "Yes, that's the logic. If I join the Radiance Association, I'll definitely be able to improve, but it won't be as big as I imagine. So, why should I join?" Lin Xian. "You're amazing. If it were someone else, even if they knew that they wouldn't be able to get as much, they'd definitely be willing to join the Radiance Association. Other things aside, the Radiance Association's background is enough." Feng Ling muttered. To be honest, there were some things that he admired Lin Xian for. This was because this person was indeed a little different from his peers. "Then, do you like me?" Lin Xian raised his eyebrows at Feng Ling. "Everyone, Feng Ling, get lost." Feng Ling glared at Lin Xian. How could this person be so shameless? Ling Ying and the rest were also unhappy. Wow. This person was getting more and more presumptuous. Now, he even dared to do these things in front of them. In the past, he didn't dare to do it. In the past, he only dared to do it secretly. Wu Yunuo and Wang Xintong didn't have much of an opinion. One was a Buddhist, while the other would support Lin Xian no matter what Lin Xian did. As for the rest, they were more or less a little unhappy. But anyway, they had a rough idea. This number was that as long as it was a beautiful girl, there was a possibility that she would become their sister. F***CK, what can you do about it? Ling Ying was even thinking about it. If they were together in the future, even if Lin Xian was intimate with a girl for a day, if he didn't rest, it would be 10 to 20 days. What the F***CK? Wouldn't he suffocate to death? F***CK. Suddenly, Ling Ying felt that Lin Xian was playing a huge game of chess. He had purposely found so many girls because one round would take a lot of time. Then, he would have an excuse to sleep with everyone. Wow. How vicious. "Hey, Lin Xian, why don't you introduce me to someone?" Zhuge Feng smiled. "Scram to the side. Go and make your own bed. Do you still want me to introduce you to someone?" Lin Xian rolled his eyes. "I just think that your introduction is beautiful." "Where would I find a girl to introduce to you?" Lin Xian asked. What he's implying is that all the beautiful girls belong to Lin Xian. "Why would he give them to you?" Ling Ying said. "Ha ha ha." They laughed out loud. Lin Xian was the most embarrassed. This group of girls. They needed to be taught a lesson. It seemed that he still needed to teach them a lesson. "Let's watch the battle," Lin Xian said. This was quite an important matter. Then, they turned their attention to the battle arena. This battle arena was, of course, very special. That's right. Virtual battle. It was to lie in a virtual chamber and fight in a simulated space. You could inherit all the power except for spiritual weapons, martial techniques, realms, law domains, and so on. Most importantly, there was no danger. They fought from day to night. Lin Xian and the rest had basically seen these people's methods. How to put it, they were very strong. Moreover, Lin Xian and the rest knew that these people definitely didn't use their true abilities. However, they had a rough understanding of them. They are indeed very strong. The 10 of them sighed as they walked on the road. They can be even stronger. How confident are you if you're in the same realm? Wu Yunuo asked. That depends on who. I think we still have some confidence. However, there are some people who are really strong. They are not only strong in terms of attributes, laws, or domains. Their combat strength and control of swords and other aspects are very exaggerated. Ling Ying said. That Tian Lin and the others are indeed very strong. Did they obtain an inheritance? Or are we too weak? I feel that some of them are so strong that it's unbelievable. Feng Ling said. I think so too. It's normal for them to be strong. However, some of their sword techniques are too strong. Normally, it's difficult to achieve this in 20 or 30 years. Wang Xintong said. Murong Yu said, it's like this. Generally speaking, they will inherit the inheritance of the experts from their own forces. For example, their ancestors. Therefore, they appear to be young but have exaggerated combat strength. Then, aren't we inferior to them? Wu Yuhan asked. This is also considered an opportunity. If we can't compete with them now, we will be able to do so in the future. However, I went to a demon god forbidden ground in the beast domain. There are many inheritances there. Lin Xian said. Is that the place you told us to go? Lin Xian nodded. But it should be closed now. It's okay. We can slowly improve ourselves. Inheritances aren't necessary. That's true. Let's go. Father is looking for us. Murong Yu said. Then, they went to the Murong family together. That's right. They didn't go to the sacred palace, but to Murong Yu's house. Everyone, feel free to sit. Xiao Yu's mother isn't home. So, I'll order takeout later to entertain everyone. I'm a man and I don't know how to cook. Murong Feng smiled as he walked over with a teapot. The reason why they didn't go out to eat was purely because of safety issues. Perhaps what he was going to say next was very important. Walls have ears. It was definitely the safest place to eat in one's own house, especially in the Murong family. Uncle Murong is too polite. We can cook. There's no need to order takeout. Ling Ying said. You are guests. Isn't it a joke to ask you to cook? Murong Feng said with a smile. Hey, Uncle Murong, don't be so polite. It's fine. Lin Xian smiled. Then we'll go and cook. Then, a group of girls walked into the kitchen. With so many girls, the speed of cooking was definitely not a problem. Only the 3 men were left in the living room. Lin Xian, take care of your body. Murong Feng said as he handed Lin Xian and Zhuge Feng a cigarette each. Lin Xian nodded awkwardly. Ha ha ha, what can we do? This is something that we can't even envy. Zhuge Feng smiled helplessly. Ha ha ha, we're men. We all understand. Ha ha ha. Uncle Murong, did something big happen this time? Lin Xian asked. We'll talk about it together when we eat. Chapter 18:21. With so many girls cooking together, the kitchen was big enough, and the division of labor was clear. Washing vegetables, cutting vegetables, and cooking were super fast. A table of dishes was quickly prepared. It smells so good. Lin Xian, you will be in for a treat in the future. Murong Feng laughed. Lin Xian's cooking is the best. Wang Xintong said. I heard about it. When I have time, I will definitely try it. Come, everyone, take a seat. Then they gathered in a circle. After drinking a mouthful of wine, Murong Feng said, I called you here today because I have a mission. Lin Xian and the others had probably guessed this. Then, Murong Feng continued, it's like this. Recently, the demon race hasn't been very peaceful. I reckon that in at most a year, the human race and the demon race will erupt into a true war. Right now, the demon race has basically finished reorganizing and is ready to go. As far as the demon race is concerned, everything is already prepared. They only need to make a decision before they can directly launch an attack. Obviously, Murong Feng must have grasped a certain amount of information to be able to say such words. It is indeed very serious. Once this war starts, there will be no peace for several years. Zhuge Feng sighed. In fact, it had been many years since the last war between the human race and the demon race. Now, the so-called war was actually a war to occupy the cities of the human race. This kind of war was just like the one in Tianhua City. The scale of the war was there, but it wasn't a real war because it might only be the evil god temple. But what Murong Feng said was a real war. The demon race's 10,000 demon alliance and the demon god temple would come out in full force. There would be no peace. Yes, it has been several years. This time, the strength of the demon clan is very exaggerated. The newly established demon god palaces, as well as the undead clan and other powerful existences. This is a great test for our human clan. Lin and City will definitely become the focus of the demon clan's attack. Then how big is the gap between the strength of the human race and the demon race? Feng Ling asked. In terms of strength, in a sense, the human clan is indeed inferior to the demon clan. In terms of numbers, the human clan is also inferior to the demon clan. In terms of fighting, the human clan is also inferior to the demon clan. This was true. There were many demonic beasts in the demon race. They were demonic beasts that hadn't transformed into human form. These existences would charge at you like crazy. In terms of the degree of daring to die, the demon race was indeed a little exaggerated. Then what's our mission? Murong Feng drank a mouthful of wine and said, according to the information we obtained earlier, the demon race's great demon god palaces are currently constructing the Space Plank Road. Once the Space Plank Road is completed, they will be able to gather their armies from thousands of miles away. When the time comes, the demon clan will launch wave after wave of attacks on the human clan like a surging tide. Murong Yu nodded. That's right. As the attacking party, they have the absolute initiative in terms of frequency, direction, and strategy. If they are allowed to quickly transport their army, then the chances of failure in this war are very high. That's right. Even if we don't lose, at least a quarter of our human clan's territory will be occupied. Murong Feng nodded. Then our mission is to destroy the Space Plank Road? Lin Xian asked. Yes, that's right. Murong Feng nodded. It's not just you guys. All the major forces, including the Radiant Association, will carry out this secret operation. Only these people know about this operation. The only ones who know the specific operation plan are your immediate superiors. Therefore, there is no problem with safety. The Radiant Association may send no less than 5 teams to complete their mission. Are they all going to destroy the Space Plank Road? Lin Xian asked. Most of them are, because there are a total of 15 demon god palaces. They will build at least 15 Space Plank Roads. Each force or several forces may have the same goal, but they may not have the same mission. Then what's our mission? Lin Xian asked. Your mission is somewhat difficult. Your goal is the Space Plank Road built by the 9th Demon God Palace. Murong Feng took out a remote control. Come, take a look. A projection appeared in the air. It was a 3D panoramic map. They looked at it. This is the 9th Demon God Palace. This is Tianhua City. The 9th Demon God Palace and Tianhua City are more than 300 kilometers apart. For a war, 300 kilometers is not a long distance. However, in the previous battle in Tianhua City, the 10th Demon God Palace used the Space Plank Road to transport demon beasts, causing us to lose control of Tianhua City. There is a huge difference. Then Murong Feng continued, over here, the 10th Demon God Palace is not far away. There are also the 8th and 5th Demon God Palaces. They are all in our direction. The 10th Demon God Palace was Yi Ranbing's Demon God Palace. However, Yi Ranbing had been kicked out of the Demon God Palace. Her power was still there, but it was no longer the 10th Demon God Palace. There was a new one in the 10th Demon God Palace. The most important thing is that the 8th and 5th Demon God Palaces are very far away from us. However, if they can also use the Space Plank Road of the 9th and 10th Demon God Palaces, it will be very difficult. Therefore, they only need to build the Space Plank Road to the 9th and 10th Demon God Palaces and use them to attack us. Therefore, the mission of destroying the 9th and 10th Demon God Palaces is very difficult and important. Lin Xian still had some conflicts with the 9th Demon God Palace. Previously, in the Demon Beast territory, they sent people to kill him. In the end, He was saved by Mu Qianshuang. Are we going to destroy the 9th Demon God Palace's space plank road? Lin Xian asked. No, your mission is to cooperate with a team from the Divine Temple and a team from the Radiance Association. Their mission is to destroy the 9th Demon God Palace's space plank road. Everyone, it was so uncomfortable. In other words, they were helping others? What's wrong? You're not convinced? Morong Fong asked. It's not that I'm not convinced. Their realm is very high, so of course they have the ability to do it. It's just that. Isn't this just being a hoodlum? Acting as a lookout for them? No. In addition to this, you have to do your best to cooperate with them to destroy the space plank road. This is a secret mission, but there will definitely be a battle. Since they want to return to the space plank road, you have to cooperate with them to destroy the space plank road. If necessary, you have to firmly buy time for them. Morong Fong said. You have several people with the space attribute. Moreover, Lin Xian's space attribute is stronger. You are very suitable for this mission. Chapter 1822. How should it be described? To Lin Xian and company, this was nothing much. To put it simply, they were not the front line. It was a mission that was split into several teams. They were responsible for assisting the other teams, while the other two teams were the front line. This was not a problem because they were indeed powerful. Their realm was higher, so the factions trusted them more. This was very normal. Lin Xian did not find anything wrong with it either. Then, what exactly do we need to do? Lin Xian asked. As for the specifics, Morong Fong pointed to a spot and said, Look over here. They looked at a spot. This is the 9th Fei God Temple. This spot is a defensive perimeter of the 9th Fei God Temple. Passing through this perimeter will lead us straight to the area where the 9th Fei God Temple's spatial plank path is built. Barging in is absolutely out of the question. Do we need to lure them away? Xiao Xinhua asked. That's right. However, this is not necessary. Everything depends on the actual situation. The situation can change in an instant. As for what to do, it will depend on the actual situation. As for what to do, it will be up to you, the Holy Temples team, and the Light Association's team to discuss it. Just say that your main mission is to do what I just told you. Cooperate with them. Lin Xian and company nodded. All right, understood. Actually, Lin Xian and the others weren't unhappy about it. Indeed, they weren't unhappy about it. Their mission was also very important. It was just that there were stronger people doing harder missions. There was nothing wrong with that. As for Lin Xian and company, what they needed to do was to do their job well. You will realize that the various large factions placed great importance on every member of every team. These missions were very dangerous but also very important. Even so, they didn't even give them much consideration before letting them complete this mission. This was enough to show that in their eyes, they believed in everyone. Indeed, it was trustworthy. They were already at the heavenly Tao realm, so what was there not to trust? Yes, use a day to prepare. Prepare anything you need. If there's anything you need, feel free to inform me. I will use the Holy Temple's resources to supplement you. Then, the three of you will head to the vicinity of the 9th Fei God Temple to begin the mission. Everyone nodded. Understood. Remember, the mission is important, but your safety is more important. I need you to ensure your own safety, but at the same time, I want you to cooperate with them to complete the mission. Do what you have to do. If your safety is threatened, retreat. But I don't want the mission to fail because of your mistakes. Understood. Good. Eat. A day passed just like that. In fact, the major forces believed in these children because they would inevitably become the pillars of the human race in the future. They also needed to give them experience. Although this mission was very important, in recent years, the human race had risen very quickly, especially in the two major attributes of time and space. More and more people had obtained them. Every team must have such an attribute. Firstly, it was powerful. Secondly, it could protect themselves and their teammates to a great extent. Think about it. A team can have one or a few people who can bring their teammates to a place tens of kilometers, hundreds of kilometers, or even thousands of kilometers in an instant. Isn't that safe? They must have the power to trap space. However, this kind of power must be prepared in advance because as long as the space attribute martial artists could react, they could escape. The most important thing was that the beast race rarely had the space attribute. To the beast race, 99% of their space attribute came from spiritual weapons. Spiritual items of heaven and earth were definitely not comparable to the human race in terms of flexibility. Late at night, Lin Xian's team and 2 other teams set off. They didn't go together. Perhaps this was a way to ensure their safety. They would gather at a certain location in the beast domain. A few hours later, they arrived at the gathering place. It was only a few hundred kilometers. Actually, for Lin Xian, it was only a matter of time before he made a spatial jump. However, one must know that one shouldn't casually use the space. This was because if there were experts on the other side, they would be able to sense the aura of the space. This was a small forest. After a while, 20 people arrived one after another. Since we're all here, let's discuss in detail the plan of action later. Everyone, come over. The one who spoke was a man from the Radiant Association. He was the captain of the Radiant Association's team. His strength was definitely very exaggerated. In front of him, the holy son of the temple, Tian Lin, didn't have much right to speak. However, in terms of status, Tian Lin was definitely not inferior to him. However, it was the Radiant Association after all. He still had to give them face. Then, the man waved his hand and opened up a small space in front of him. He then walked in. They all walked in together. After walking in, they saw a pure white space. This wasn't a particularly powerful method. Lin Xian could also do it. However, it depended on how big the space was. This was the method to prove the strength of the space. There was an absolute advantage to this method, and that was that no one would be able to eavesdrop on them. The 3 of them sat together on 3 sides. Logically speaking, the other 2 teams only had 5 girls in total. Lin Xian's team had 8. However, indeed, many of the men would secretly steal glances at Morong Yu and the other girls. After all, they were just too beautiful. However, the girls in their team weren't bad either, but compared to them, there was still a gap. It was likely that after the mission ended, these men would begin pestering the girls to woo them. This was a trivial matter. Everyone, let's introduce ourselves. None of us know each other, but this mission requires us to work together precisely. At the very least, we need to know each other's names, right? I'll go first. I'm the captain of the Radiant Association's 3rd team, Jiang Feng. My realm is Heavenly Dao Realm 4-star. My primary attribute is space. That's about it. Next, let me introduce my team members. Then, everyone introduced themselves. Morong Yu, Heavenly Dao Realm 2-star. Her attributes are space, time, ice, and lightning. We all know that. Temple Master Morong's daughter. 4 rare. She has very powerful attributes. Jiang Feng said with a nod. Wu Yuhan, Heavenly Dao Realm 1-star. Her attribute is darkness. Lin Xian, Heavenly Dao Realm 2-star. Captain of the team. What about his attributes? Tian Lin asked. In terms of attributes. All attributes. Lin Xian said as he rubbed his nose. Everyone. Chapter 1823. To be honest, they must have investigated Lin Xian. They knew that Lin Xian had many attributes, but all attributes, to be honest, they didn't know. No, how could there be someone with all attributes? The key was that they had investigated Lin Xian. Apart from having many attributes, all of them were very powerful. It was no wonder that Lin Xian was so highly regarded by so many experts. This is the first time I've heard of someone with all attributes. Amazing. Jiang Feng nodded. Lin Xian smiled. There's still a gap between me and all of you. You're too modest. Jiang Feng glanced at everyone and said, "Then, I'll be the commander of Team 3 for this operation. Does anyone have any objections?" At this moment, Tianlin said, "I don't have any objections. It's just that this young master has studied the art of war since he was a child. I have some knowledge of how to use people and plan plans. Due to my responsibility for this operation, this young master feels that I have the ability to lead Team 3. Well, if that's the case, then young Master Tian will be the commander. I'll be the deputy commander. But I hope young Master Tian didn't say this on impulse." Jiang Feng said. Lin Xian thought that the two of them were going to fight, but he didn't expect Jiang Feng to be a normal person. As for Tian Lin, he couldn't be said to be arrogant. If he had the ability, it wouldn't be wrong for him to say that he would be the overall commander of the operation. But if he didn't have the ability to do so, then it was a different concept. "Don't worry. I've already made a series of plans. The rest will depend on the actual situation," Tian Lin said. "Good. Then, young Master Tian, tell us the operation plan." Tian Lin nodded and took out a map. "This is our location. This is the 9th Monster God Temple. This is the Space Walkway. The Space Walkway is about 10 kilometers away from the 9th Monster God Temple. What do you think?" Tian Lin glanced at everyone. "It's simple. For the 9th Monster God Temple, if they react quickly and use the power of space, they can arrive here in a minute. If they react a little slower, it'll take them about 3 minutes," Jiang Feng said. "That's right." Tian Lin nodded. "Then for us to successfully destroy the spatial plank path, we only have 1 minute from the moment we are discovered to the moment we succeed." "It's not enough, right?" a woman asked. "Enough. It's definitely enough. The demon race needs more than a year to build the spatial plankway. According to the information we received, they have already been building it for nearly a year. Destroying the spatial plankway will buy us at least a year, or even several years. This is because they don't necessarily have enough resources to build the spatial plankway. For us, destroying the spatial plankway will only take a few seconds." Heavenly Qilin said. "A few seconds? It can't be that easy, right?" Jiang Feng said. The incomplete spatial plank road is particularly fragile. Even if it's already built, it's still extremely fragile. But we have brought powerful offensive spiritual tools, and at the same time, we also have our own formidable strength. As long as we get close to the spatial plank road and blast out our strength at the fastest speed, the spatial plank road will be directly destroyed. Isn't this process of a few seconds enough? Heavenly Qilin said. None of them spoke. It does seem to be enough. That's right, it's enough. Tian Lin nodded and continued. The key problem now is that if we get close to the spatial plankway, we only need to get close to it to instantly destroy it. They absolutely won't be able to react in time, even if they have so many experts. They should be able to react in time, right? Morong Yu pondered for a moment and said. They looked at Morong Yu. Yes. Tian Lin nodded. They can react in time, but you have to think about it. Even if they see, hear, and react in time, the strength they release definitely won't be able to catch up with our strength. Then, they can only use their body to resist. Will they use their body to resist at that moment? As a normal person, this is their instinctive reaction? Especially when it's something that has nothing to do with their life. Although it's important, in their subconscious, it's not their family. If it's attacked, they won't lose anything, right? Then why would they resist? They pondered for a moment. That's true. Alright, everyone. Now, let's discuss how to get close to that location smoothly. The area within a radius of 10 kilometers around the Space Plank Road is filled with patrolling experts of the demon race. Especially beside the Space Plank Road, there are a large number of experts, and they have the power to seal the space. Jiang Feng said. That's right. Although the power of this spatial seal won't stop us from using the space, according to our intelligence, this power will interfere with our space release. Once we reach a distance of 500 meters, our space will lose its function. In other words, we have to get within 500 meters of the spatial plankway before we can attack. And before that, we can't be discovered. We only have a maximum of 3 minutes to attack. Although we only need a few seconds to succeed, once we're discovered, countless experts will gather and it won't be easy to approach. Even if we get close, they'll have already prepared a defensive response. Tian Lin said. We just need to get close to the spatial plankway. Then, the space attribute experts will attack from all directions. As long as one person succeeds, it'll be fine. If we get close, it'll be fine. If we hide, we'll have to pay attention to some hidden mechanisms or traps. There won't be people everywhere. However, after a certain distance, I'm afraid it'll be difficult to move an inch. So, my plan is to send a team to scout out the general situation there. Only when we know the general situation there can we take action. Tian Lin said. No need for a team. One person is enough. Zhang Feng said. Well, who has the confidence? I'll go. Lin Xian said. You? Well, that's fine. You have the dark attribute and the space attribute. You're indeed more suitable. However, there's a premise. You must not be discovered. I'd rather not be able to get close than be discovered. Once we're discovered, our operation can be cancelled. Tian Lin said. Well, I can only say that I'll try. Indeed, I might not be able to get close to that location. All right, do you need our help? Lin Xian shook his head. No need. I'll go now. Be careful. Lin Xian nodded and then walked out of this place. Chapter 1824. Although some of these people might be displeased with Lin Xian, they knew that for him to be a member of the team and for all the major factions to agree to come, he was definitely no pushover. Therefore, they still had some confidence in Lin Xian. Of course, to Tian Lin, he actually hoped that Lin Xian would fail the mission. No, it wasn't just a failure. He hoped that Lin Xian would cause a huge disaster and cause the mission to fail. If that happened, his standing in the eyes of the human race and the experts of the various factions would definitely plummet. It was fine as long as they did not see him posture or see people praise him. This was Tian Lin's idea. Therefore, Lin Xian was indeed the best choice for the mission. Then, let's wait. Let's wait for the news Lin Xian will bring us, said Tian Lin. Yes. Yes. Everyone, take advantage of this time to prepare everything you need to prepare. On the other side, Lin Xian came outside. The reason why he accepted the mission was because Lin Xian felt that he had the ability to do it. Furthermore, he was really fighting for humanity. For humanity, it did not mean that he was a righteous person. It was just that this was the responsibility of a member of the human race. So many people with low cultivation realms were risking their lives. He was already at the heavenly Tao realm. Was he going to enjoy life? Yes, he might be enjoying it now, but he would not be able to enjoy it if humanity were to fall. Lin Xian released his darkness elemental concealment powers as he proceeded through the night. Eye of Cave Spirit. Lin Xian activated his Eye of Cave Spirit and proceeded forward. That's right. Many of them knew how to conceal themselves with the darkness elemental property, but Lin Xian's greatest trump card was his Eye of Cave Spirit. Clearly, the Fae had to protect the spatial plank road well because they knew that humans were aware of the matter. There was a chance that humans would cause destruction, so they would definitely defend it. However, there were always loopholes in defense, especially when it was something they could not be sure of. They could not be sure if the humans would attack. What was the simplest method? Thinking about it from another perspective, the simplest method would be to set up something similar to a trap near the space plank path. Of course, it wouldn't be a simple trap. For example, if someone passed by a place and didn't notice anything, the monster race would notice it. Therefore, as long as he had the Eye of Cave Spirit, he could guard against all of this. With the concealment of the darkness attribute, especially Lin Xian's darkness attribute, he could ensure that even a heavenly Tao realm 5-star would not be able to detect him. Lin Xian's figure continued to move forward. Sure enough, Lin Xian did see many patrolling demon race experts. In addition to the patrolling demon race experts, there were even more in the dark. This was discovered by the Eye of Cave Spirit. Otherwise, if it was someone else, they might be able to guard against patrolling in the open but not in the dark. Lin Xian gradually approached the location of the spatial walkway. In front of him, a bright white light flickered in the dark night. It covered a very large area. That area was clearly the spatial walkway, but it was still several thousand meters away from Lin Xian. Holy *T. The demon race is truly ridiculous. What did Lin Xian see? There were countless fey beasts around him. These fey beasts were considered to be at the bottom of the hierarchy. In a fight, they would be cannon fodder, but there were countless of them. The demons used a very simple method to gather a large number of fey beasts around him. Although you are vigilant enough, unless you can completely surround the area in all directions, what's the use? Lin Xian pondered for a moment. This was because these fey beasts were considered to be at the bottom of the hierarchy. Lin Xian concealed himself and walked through the group of fey beasts. They were unable to discover Lin Xian. There were two types of concealment. One was concealing one's aura, and the other was concealing one's body. However, when the darkness attribute reached a certain level, concealment was equivalent to invisibility, but it was only, almost. And why was Lin Xian completely invisible? It was the light attribute. The light attribute's pseudo-light was invisibility. When combined with the darkness attribute, the two complemented each other to achieve true invisibility. This kind of invisibility was so exaggerated that even if one walked on the sand, they wouldn't leave any footprints. This was the effect of the darkness attribute. Although the light attribute could make one invisible, it would leave footprints and couldn't conceal one's aura. After passing through here, Lin Xian was about 5 kilometers away from the Space Plank Road. There were still many hidden experts guarding this place. This place won't do. I have to go to other places to take a look. Although Lin Xian came here, Lin Xian knew that many others couldn't come here. Lin Xian had to find a place where others could come. There must be a loophole. 2 hours later, Lin Xian approached the Space Plank Road and roughly saw it. Of course, it was only a rough estimate. Fortunately, I have the Eye of Cave Spirit. Otherwise, this operation would definitely fail. Lin Xian muttered. He didn't only mean that his operation would fail. Everyone's operation would fail. This was because on the way here, there was an invisible force that encircled the entire area. It was about 2 kilometers away from the Space Plank Road. This force was something that Lin Xian failed to discover even though he was at the Heavenly Tao realm at 2 stars. If not for the Eye of Cave Spirit, he would have been discovered the moment he passed through it. And the reason why the others could pass through the force without being mistaken for an enemy was because they had something special on them. Lin Xian returned. He's not back yet? It's been 3 hours. It's almost dawn. Tian Lin looked at the time. Although it's only 10 kilometers, it's perfectly normal for it to take 3 hours. Young Master Tian, there's no need to rush. At most, we can wait until next night. Dawn is coming. At that moment, Lin Xian walked over as everyone stood up. How is it? They asked. Lin Xian nodded. I've roughly figured it out. Everyone, listen carefully to what Lin Xian has to say. Lin Xian then said, from here to the Space Plank Road, there are experts guarding it in the open. There are even countless fey beasts surrounding it. There are also experts guarding it in the dark. Of course, this isn't the crux of the matter. The crux of the matter is that about 3 kilometers away from the Space Plank Road, there is a force encircling it. This force can be understood as something like infrared rays. It can't be seen or sensed, but once you touch it, you will immediately be discovered. They knitted their brows tightly. Then, how did you know? Lin Xian said, I naturally have my own means. Then wouldn't their own people be mistaken for an enemy attack when they pass through that force? Zhang Feng asked. They have a kind of pearl on them. This pearl can prevent this from happening. I also killed one of them and took his pearl before I went there. Lin Xian. You killed someone? Chapter 1825. They furrowed their brows. To be honest, this wasn't good news. Lin Xian. It's fine. The one we killed wasn't of a high realm, and they have a lot of people guarding them. They won't be suspicious if one of them dies. After all, they don't have communication methods like us humans. That's true, but we can't let our guard down. Jiang Feng said, continue. Lin Xian then said, that energy scanned the area. I spent about an hour and a half looking for a path that might be relatively easy to walk on. After all, not everyone has the darkness attribute. Did you find it? Lin Xian nodded. I found it. It's here. Lin Xian pointed at a location on the map. This is a mountain range. Lin Xian nodded. Yes, there are experts guarding the foot of this mountain range, but there aren't any above the mountain range. If we walk up this mountain range and pass through that energy, we'll be 1 kilometer away from the spatial plank road. What's the situation around the spatial plank road? Tian Lin asked. There's a power that prevents the use of spatial energy. I sensed it, and it should be the power they're using to build the spatial plank road. It's very strong. If we forcefully use spatial jump or teleport, we can only teleport 20 meters away at most. Apart from that, I took a look inside and there aren't many people. Most of them are here to build the spatial plank road. Lin Xian said. 20 meters. That is to say, even if we get close, spatial attribute warriors can only teleport 20 meters away. 20 meters isn't enough. I'm afraid 200 meters is already within their line of sight, right? A man said. Lin Xian nodded. Yes. That's about right. It's fine. 20 meters. After we teleport in and rush in at full speed, we'll only need 2 seconds to reach the spatial plank road. Adding on the energy we release, we'll need at most 3 seconds. If we attack from all directions, will they be able to react in 3 seconds? Will they be able to react in time? Tian Lin said. That's about right. I feel the same. A man said. That's about right. Everyone, since Lin Xian has investigated everything for us, let me summarize. Tian Lin said, now if we want to go there, we have to go through a force. We can only use Lin Xian's method to get through this force. Before we start, we have to kill some people and get the bead. Lin Xian shook his head. No need, I have one. Then, a pile of beads appeared. This, Lin Xian, it was created by the law of creation. Since I found one, I can create a new one. They were pleasantly surprised. Good. Everyone let the space martial artist do it. Time martial artist, do your best to accelerate the time of your teammates the moment the space martial artist makes his move. Let's make something that can be done in 3 seconds seem like a second in the eyes of those people. Others, cooperate with us. Do you have any objections? Or rather, questions? Heavenly Qilin said. Just give me a specific plan of action. I don't have many other questions. Yes, let's discuss a specific plan. Tian Lin nodded. Okay, then let's discuss the plan. I have a question. Lin Xian. Oh, speak. Lin Xian then said, I can only see the situation there, but I can't get close. The heaven and earth spiritual energy there is extremely dense, so I can't confirm many things. This was true. The eye of cave spirit could see some hidden things, but Lin Xian's distance was limited. He couldn't accurately see some things. He could only see where the heaven and earth spiritual energy was, how much there was, and how strong it was. As for what it was used for, Lin Xian couldn't see it, so he didn't know. So, what I'm worried about is, what if there are some special forces or traps next to the space walkway? Lin Xian. Many people looked at each other. That made sense. No, you don't have to worry too much about that. Tian Lin shook his head and said, first of all, this is our mission. Since we've already made all the necessary preparations and eliminated all the dangers, how can we not go just because we suspect that there's a trap and that there's a protective force there? Second, they're constantly building the space walkway. For the sake of speed, they'll set up defenses that will affect their speed. At the same time, if there are traps, with so many people building them, will it be convenient for them? Even if there are traps, with so many people moving around every day, how can we just happen to step on a trap? Third, your mission has been completed perfectly. The rest of you just need to stay here and provide support for us. Set up the teleportation space in advance. When the time comes, we will inevitably fight with them. We need your team to be able to leave this place through the power of space as soon as we run over. Can you do that? Your team has more than 5 people with the space attribute. Tian Lin said. They indeed had a lot of people with the space attribute because some of them had exchanged for it at the God's Awakening door. Lin Xian's use of space was too good. They felt that it was very convenient. Lin Xian nodded and said, "That's not a problem." "Alright then. You guys start looking for a place to set up. Radiant Association members, our 2 teams will go there together to discuss a detailed plan." Then, the 2 teams walked away. What kind of person is that? It feels like he's looking down on us. Wind Chimes grumbled unhappily. That's right. Moreover, he doesn't seem to care about Lin Xian's words at all. It's as if in his eyes, Lin Xian's words can be ignored. Wang Xintong also mumbled unhappily. Lin Xian smiled and said, "It doesn't matter. In any case, our mission is more or less complete." He's right. After all, the rest of the matter is left to the 2 teams, and we're just cooperating with them. Who knows, they might come up with a detailed plan later, and we might even need to take action. However, I feel that it's a little too simple. Zhuge Feng said. It's actually not that simple, right? Just like what Lin Xian said, under normal circumstances, will definitely be discovered, and the mission will definitely fail. Wu Yuhan said. That's true. Lin Xian nodded and said, "Yes indeed. Those conditions are enough to make the demon race cautious. Perhaps I'm overthinking. Let's go, everyone. Set up the teleportation array. Be careful and make it stronger. Although it's very close, it'll be over if it's destroyed." Understood. Then they walked out. Chapter 1826. Just like that, a day passed. Lin Xian's team had successfully completed their mission. The rest was up to the other 2 teams. They had also come up with a perfect plan. The other 2 teams had already started moving. Only Lin Xian's team was left here. So boring. Ling Ying sat there. Most importantly, the other 2 teams hadn't given them any missions. They were just told to stay here and provide support for the other 2 teams at any time. Yes, this was indeed very important, but who would be able to stand it if they came out to be a bystander? They had thought that they could go and do some important missions. Lin Xian, it's okay. As long as the mission is completed, there will be plenty of opportunities in the future. It's okay for you. At least you went to do something important. The 9 of us just stayed here and did nothing, Ling Ying said helplessly. It can't be helped. We're also here for a mission. Compared to them, our mission is easier. But it's still an indispensable part of the mission, Lin Xian continued. I know. Forget it. Let's not think about it. They should be back soon, right? Morong Yu nodded. Logically speaking, if we follow the plan and act according to it, we should be able to finish it in a few minutes. Let's get ready. Okay. But why do I have a bad feeling about this? Lin Xian pondered for a moment. They looked at Lin Xian. What ominous premonition. They looked at Lin Xian in confusion. Lin Xian shook his head. I can't say. I just feel that Tian Lin isn't that reliable. But I can't tell why. That's true. I also feel that he's a little unreliable. It's like, he's too confident, Zhuge Feng said. Yes. He's just a little too confident. It's like he thinks the Yao clan is stupid. But Feng Ling thought for a moment and said, according to what Lin Xian said, I think the demon clan is already very careful. Maybe we're really overthinking it. Lin Xian, I think it's hard to say, really hard to say. Anyway, I've already reminded them. The rest is up to them to see if they take it to heart. Lin Xian had seen it through his eye of cave spirit. There was a lot of heaven and earth spiritual energy there, and it was divided into many parts. He was unable to determine what exactly that heaven and earth spiritual energy was. For example, it could be a trap, a formation, or a barrier. But maybe he was thinking too much. On the other side, just as Lin Xian said, this is indeed the case here. Then, in front of us should be the invisible and undetectable infrared ray that Lin Xian mentioned. Zhang Feng said, "Shouldn't we be a little more careful? Is this bead really useful?" A man held the bead given to him by Lin Xian and asked. Since Lin Xian said it's useful, then it's useful. If it's not useful, then the responsibility lies entirely with him. Tian Lin said, "That's true. After all, this is Lin Xian's mission." Moreover, he said it so confidently. At the same time, he also said that this thing is useful. If he really fails because of this reason, he will indeed have to take the blame. Let's go. Everyone, be careful. The dark and light elements will help you hide. Okay. Then, they passed through the mountain range and hid not far away from the space plank road. According to the plan, spread out. Chong Feng, Lu Yi, Zhang Ming, go to B position. Zhang Duo, go to C position. Everyone from the Radiant Association, go to D, E, and F positions and be on standby. Tian Lin said. Yes. Remember what everyone's priority is. Understood. Okay, report to me when you're in position. Wait for my orders. Tian Lin said. Then, they spread out one after another. They would act at the same time. Some would directly rush to the space plank road and destroy it from all directions. Some would use the wind and time elements to buff them at the same time to help them complete the mission in the shortest time possible. Some would be responsible for providing support the moment they took action. For example, if they saw someone rushing to stop them, they would stop them instead. There was no need to fight. They just needed to buy time. Everyone got into position. Everyone, listen to my orders. Tian Lin said into the headset. 3, 2, 1, move out. Schwa, at the same time, everyone rushed out and rushed to the space plank road. Everyone's cooperation was very unified. After all, this cooperation wasn't too difficult. Everyone's steps were the same and they just had to do what they were supposed to do. Enemy attack. The experts on the space plank road had noticed it immediately, but, because Tian Lin and the others were too fast, they were able to react in time. They also saw people rushing towards the spatial walkway from all directions. Some of them moved, but they were stopped by others. Some of them wanted to make a move as well, but it was too late. Tian Lin's eyes flickered. It was a lot easier than he had imagined. The space plank road was right in front of them. Brothers, attack together. Tian Lin bellowed, then released an extremely terrifying power. As a space plank road that had yet to be completed, they definitely had the ability to destroy it with their 4-star and 3-star Heavenly Dao realm strength. Alright. Boom, from several directions, several terrifying forces blasted the space plank road at the same time. Success. Tian Lin's eyes suddenly lit up. He knew that once he succeeded, his status in the eyes of the human race would definitely rise greatly in the eyes of the experts. This was also why he took the initiative to be the commander of this operation. It was because the greatest credit would definitely land on him. However, just as their forces were about to land on the space plank road, a white beam of light suddenly appeared outside the space plank road. What? Boom, their forces landed on the white beam of light and were all blocked. Tian Lin's pupils suddenly contracted. A barrier. He turned his head to look at a spot where an elder was standing. He had just crushed a bead in his hand. Bastard! Tian Lin's eyes suddenly focused. Young Master Tian. Someone shouted from the other side. 3 minutes. Destroy this place. Kill. Tian Lin roared. He could not accept failure. Absolutely not. 3 minutes. There were at most 3 minutes left. He still had a chance. There was still a chance if he could destroy the barrier in these 3 minutes. Yes. Then, a huge battle erupted. Young Master Tian, we can't take it anymore. We have to leave. The space here is restricted. We need time to escape. If we don't leave now, it will probably be too late when the people from the 9th Fey God Temple arrive. Zhang Feng roared. Tian Lin clenched his fists as his eyes turned bloodshot. No. Chapter 1827. Tian Lin knew that he had to succeed. It wasn't that this mission couldn't be failed, it was because everyone knew that there was a possibility of failure. For the beast race, they had already guessed that the human race would destroy the spatial walkway. It was just a matter of time and method. However, he couldn't accept failure. He had never failed in nearly 30 years. He couldn't accept it. At the same time, he really believed that this barrier would be destroyed in 10 seconds at most. Why run? This barrier is about to be destroyed. After destroying it, we can destroy the space walkway in an instant. Why run? Everyone, assist me. Let me destroy the space walkway. Tian Lin shouted. Zhang Feng frowned. This was a difficult task for him as well. In theory, Tian Lin was the commander-in-chief, and they had to listen to his orders. Although Zhang Feng felt that they had to retreat now, and his opinion was different from Tian Lin's, Tian Lin was still the commander-in-chief. If he ordered the Radiance Association's team to retreat and the mission failed, then Tian Lin could push the blame to Zhang Feng, saying that it was because Zhang Feng ordered the Radiance Association's team to retreat that caused the mission to fail. Therefore, Zhang Feng could only brace himself. Block it for him. 10 seconds later. Boom. Following Sky Qilin's super-powerful move, he destroyed the enchantment. Tian Lin revealed a surprised expression. Fortunately, he made it in time. However, the next second, he was dumbfounded. Why? F*CKU. There's another barrier within this barrier? F*CKU. His mentality directly exploded. There's another barrier? No, it's too late. We have to retreat. Zhang Feng shouted. Tian Lin gritted his teeth. Retreat. Retreat? Is this a place where you can come and go as you please? Suddenly, a group of figures appeared on the horizon. Their pupils suddenly shrank. On the other side, Lin Xian and the rest stood there, looking at the void in the distance. Something might have happened. Lin Xian frowned. It's been 2 minutes. Logically speaking, it should be done in 10 seconds. But 2 minutes. It can only mean that something has happened. Lin Xian said. Then what should we do? Ling Ying asked. Lin Xian frowned. His mission was to provide support here, but he wasn't very clear about the situation ahead. Going to help? Han Chuxue asked. Lin Xian said, I'll go. You guys stay here and continue to provide support. No, let's go together. Lin Xian said, we don't know what's going on over there, and our mission is to help them. If all of us go, they'll come back. But if we can't help them in time because we're not here, and if they come back, then we'll be at fault. Then let Murong Yu accompany you. Wu Yuhan said. No need, I'll be fine by myself. Don't worry, I can protect myself. Don't worry, I'll go over first. Be careful. They looked at Lin Xian worriedly. Yes. Lin Xian nodded and rushed over. By the time Lin Xian arrived, 10 minutes had already passed. Although it was only 10 kilometers, Lin Xian couldn't use space, couldn't move at full speed, and had to be wary of being discovered. 10 minutes was quite fast. Lin Xian arrived and saw that Tian Lin's group had been completely blocked. A very exaggerated battle had broken out. They were obviously no match for them. They were now at death's door. Retreat. We have to retreat. Run. Zhang Feng bellowed. Go. Split up. Then, they sped off in different directions. Want to run? It's not that easy. Chase after them. How many of them could escape depended on their fate. Because of their numbers and strength, they were obviously no match for the 9th demon god temple that was chasing after them. It all depended on their luck. Almost all the experts here had chased after them, so there weren't many experts left. Lin Xian frowned. Their life and death had nothing to do with Lin Xian. Lin Xian had already shown enough respect by trying to save them. There was a risk of failure in the mission, so they could only rely on their luck. Lin Xian couldn't save them even if he wanted to. Moreover, he would be in danger himself. However, now, Lin Xian might have a chance to destroy the spatial plank path. Lin Xian saw the situation on the other side. There was a barrier around the spatial plank path. The remaining strength of the barrier wasn't high, so Lin Xian could destroy it. It should be about time. Lin Xian pondered for a moment. Saint Cultivation Technique. Lin Xian activated the 3rd level of the Saint Cultivation Technique. Create Law, Double Strength, Double Speed. Evil God Cultivation Technique. Increase Realm, Domain, Open. Whoosh. Starfall. Starfall was the ultimate move that the evil god in the Monster God Forbidden Ground gave Lin Xian. Above the void, more than 1,000 stars flickered at the same time. Then, boom boom boom, dense star power descended from the sky, bombarding this place indiscriminately. The others had already let down their guard. They didn't expect this to happen. Protect the spatial plank path. An old man shouted loudly. However, they couldn't protect it. Starfall was too powerful and its range was too large. How could they protect it when the surroundings were bombarded? They had to protect themselves. Whoosh, Lin Xian took advantage of the dust and charged in. Whoosh, Lin Xian's holy sword and Shen Yuan's sword appeared in his hands. Come. Let me cut you into pieces. Ha! Lin Xian shouted. Then, the 2 swords exploded with terrifying power and slashed at the spatial plank path. Boom, although it seemed easy for Lin Xian, it was all thanks to Tian Lin. He destroyed the 1st barrier and consumed more than half of the 2nd barrier's power. That was why Lin Xian could use Starfall to forcefully shatter it and then destroy the spatial plank path with 2 swords. Puff, Lin Xian spat out a mouthful of blood. He was injured by the destructive power of the spatial plank path. However, space jump. Lin Xian leaped 20 meters into the air and activated his wind attribute. He sped off into the distance. Chase. Chase after him. Bastard. Then, a group of people charged in Lin Xian's direction. Time slowly passed. Whoosh. Several figures rushed to where Murong Yu and the others were. Go. Go. Tian Lin shouted, clutching his chest. Where are the others? Don't worry about the others. Let's go. They frowned. Are we going to let the others fend for themselves? If you don't want to die, hurry up and leave. We failed the mission. We can't increase the casualties. Besides, the others might not be in danger. You can stay here and help them. If there's any danger, retreat immediately. We'll go and recuperate first. We've already lost them. After saying that, Tian Lin led them into the teleportation array. What should we do? They looked at each other. Chapter 1828. Perhaps it was reasonable that the mission had failed, because there was such a possibility. But this made them a little surprised. Why did only a few people come back? Where were the others? Did something happen to them? Where was Lin Xian? Ling Ying then said, "Let's guard this place." "That's the only way." "Where's Lin Xian?" Wang Xintong asked. "I don't know, but it should be fine. Let's contact him." "Don't." Han Chushue then said, "If we contact him and get exposed, then..." "That's right. We just need to trust Lin Xian." After a while, 2 more people ran over together. "Where are the others?" Zhang Feng looked at them. 5 people have already gone in. Including you, that makes 7. The others haven't arrived yet. Damn it. Zhang Feng gritted his teeth and then coughed up a mouthful of blood. "What's going on?" Murong Yu asked with a frown. Jiang Feng sighed and said, "The ninth monster god temple is more well prepared than we thought." Another person said, "Originally, it wasn't a big deal. At most, we just failed the mission. But that Tian Lin forced us to fight, which led to the current situation. Previously, the higher-ups said that our safety is the most important thing. But that Tian Lin forced us to fight in order to complete the mission. In that case, you can't go against him, right? Two groups of people have different goals, right?" Jiang Feng shook his head and said, "Forget it. It's not his fault alone. He also wanted to complete the mission. It's just that his decision was a little too risky. Captain, this is no longer a problem of risk. He simply doesn't treat us as humans. If the mission succeeds, he, as the commander-in-chief, will get more rewards. That's why he's so desperate. Does he not treat our lives as his own?" That person obviously resented Tian Lin very much. "By the way, where's Lin Xian?" Jiang Feng glanced at them. "Lin Xian found out that something happened on your side, so he went to help you. He asked us to stay and help you." Jiang Feng frowned. "He went to help us? But we didn't see him. It's only possible that Lin Xian arrived when you escaped. Then why isn't Lin Xian here yet?" Jiang Feng frowned and said, "He must have been targeted as well, but, with his attributes and abilities, I don't think it will be too much of a problem. At the very least, escaping shouldn't be a problem. It's just that he might not have shaken off those people yet." They didn't know that the spatial walkway had been destroyed because of the ongoing battle. Although the spatial walkway was destroyed, they still thought that it was the power of the battle. "I'll have to trouble you guys to take care of things here and help the others. We're going to recuperate first," Jiang Feng said. "All right." Half a day later, whoosh, Lin Xian's figure appeared there. "Lin Xian! Lin Xian!" When they saw Lin Xian return, they shouted in unison and ran over in surprise. Lin Xian shook his head. "I'm fine. It's just a minor injury. Damn it, the ninth monster god temple actually has a spatial attribute demon beast. I had to run for half a day to get rid of him." The main reason was that Lin Xian could also run here directly, but that would expose their escape route. Therefore, Lin Xian ran in the opposite direction. "It's fine as long as you're fine," Morong Yu said. "What about the others?" Lin Xian asked. 10 people came back," Wu Yunuo said. Lin Xian frowned. "I'm afraid the remaining 10 people are doomed," Xiao Xinue said. "This time, Tian Lin is going to take the blame." Lin Xian pondered for a moment. Why? The success or failure of the mission wasn't that important. Of course, this was built on everyone's lives. Compared to everyone's lives, the most important mission was to ensure that no one died even if the mission failed. This was because it wasn't easy for humans to nurture Heavenly Dao Realm experts. Furthermore, they had to be genius Heavenly Dao Realm experts. If they failed the mission, they could find someone else to discuss other plans. In any case, the spatial walkway was right there. But Tian Lin had chosen to disregard the most important thing, everyone's lives, just to complete the mission. This was already a great taboo. It would be fine if everyone was fine, but if something happened, it would be troublesome. "Let's wait for another 2 days," Lin Xian said. Yeah. 2 days later. Helplessly, only 10 people returned from the 2 teams. The remaining 10 could not be contacted and there were no traces of them. As for Lin Xian and company, they were ordered by the Holy Temple to stay here for 2 days before leaving to ensure their safety. Holy Temple's Great Hall. All the people who participated in the mission were gathered here. At the same time, there were experts from the Holy Temple and the Light Association, as well as some bigwigs. An elder was pacing around with his hands behind his back. The others either had their heads lowered or were looking at him, but no one dared to speak. Pang! He slammed his palm on the table. 10. We lost a total of 10 top Heavenly Dao Realm geniuses for this mission. 4 Light Association geniuses and 6 Heavenly Dao Realm geniuses from the Holy Temple. This price is too great, too great. The old man roared. Seventh Elder, please calm down. Murung Fong hurriedly said. Calm down? How can I calm down? 10 future pillars of the humankind, the backbone of the humankind, are gone just like that. How can I not be angry? The Light Association's 7th Elder took a deep breath before looking at Tian Lin. You are the overall commander of this mission? Tell me. Tian Lin stood up. At that moment, he had already lost his previous arrogance. We were just a step away from success. So this junior thought that it would only take a few seconds at most to destroy the enchantment. Then, we could instantly destroy the spatial walkway. We could give it a try, Tian Lin said. And then, I never expected that the enchantment would be destroyed, but there was another enchantment within it. Tian Lin said. Then let me ask you, what should our choice be? 7th Elder looked at Tian Lin. Tian Lin said, retreat. So why didn't you retreat? Because I felt that there was enough time. There was still time to destroy the other enchantment and the spatial walkway. Tian Lin said. Is that enough? Tian Lin did not say a word. Let me ask you, is it enough? 7th Elder bellowed. Tian Lin shook his head. It's not enough. I know that this was caused by my decision, but if I were to do it all over again, I would have done it again because I had given the order immediately. But you can't see the situation clearly. You think too highly of yourself. You feel that you are definitely right. A leader needs such courage, but you are not qualified. Chapter 1829. 7th Elder slowly paced back and forth. As a leader, other than having the sharpest insight and the fastest judgment on the spot, the most important thing is to have a heart that treats everyone's lives as your own. In your eyes, your teammates are only tools to complete the mission. I don't. I want to complete the mission. I want to contribute to humanity. Tian Lin looked up and retorted. You want to? Who doesn't? The 7th Elder let out a sigh. 7th Elder, at this point in time, it's necessary to pursue the matter. However, we can't spend all our energy on this. The spatial plank path still needs to be destroyed. Another old man said. At that moment, Lin Xian said, the 9th Fey God Temple spatial plank path has been destroyed. What? They looked at Lin Xian. Lin Xian nodded. Yes, back then, I was there to provide support. When I saw the battle last a few minutes, I knew that things weren't going well. Therefore, I wanted to provide support, but most of the people had already gone out to chase after them. I found an opportunity to destroy the barrier and the spatial plank path. They looked at Lin Xian and fell silent for a moment. Good. Good. 7th Elder nodded immediately and said, Good. Then, this mission is equivalent to sacrificing 10 heavenly Tao realm geniuses. The price is just too great. Thankfully, Lin Xian made up for it in time. Everyone, disperse. As for your punishment, we will discuss it and come to a conclusion. Yes. Then, they dispersed. Young Master Lin. Zhang Feng shouted for Lin Xian. Is there something? Asked Lin Xian. Nothing. I just want to thank you. Thankfully, you made up for it. Lin Xian shook his head. It's nothing. I only managed to succeed because I found the right timing. Furthermore, all of you had already destroyed more than half of the barrier. Tian Lin walked over and looked at Lin Xian. I really have to thank you this time. Lin Xian shook his head. I'm fine. I know that the problem lies with me this time, but I still want to say that in a battle, especially a battle between humans and demons, sacrifices are inevitable. Now that they have sacrificed themselves, perhaps it won't be long before I follow them and sacrifice myself. I'm not afraid of death. After saying that, Tian Lin walked away. Zhang Feng narrowed his eyes slightly. Sacrifice is unavoidable, but unnecessary sacrifice is too stupid. He clenched his fists. Everyone's values are different, and they see things in different ways. Lin Xian. He's definitely not suited to be a leader, Zhang Feng said. Yes. Lin Xian nodded. Then we'll meet again. I look forward to working with you again. Jiang Feng shook hands with Lin Xian. All right. Then, they all dispersed. All that was left was to discuss Tian Lin's punishment. As for the reward, then he could only wait and see. There might not be one. Everyone, what do you think of this matter? Punish him severely. Even if he's the holy son of the holy temple, the loss of this matter is simply too great. He must be punished severely. Severe punishment is severe, but he's still the holy son of the holy temple. No matter what, he's still very useful. Temple Master Murong, what do you think? Also, Tian family head, Tian Lin is your son. Discussing this matter in front of you means that we don't treat you as an outsider. What do you think? The Tian family head sighed. In this matter, Lin indeed has too much responsibility. He has given up a lot of things, but Lin Er's heart is for the sake of the human race, for the success of the mission. The Tian family head said. We all know this in our hearts, but things have already come to this point. There must be an explanation for this matter. Moreover, these children who have been sacrificed, their families, they also want an explanation. If we give them this explanation, we'll be letting them down. The Tian family head nodded. Yes, let's discuss this matter. Let's not talk about this matter for now. Let's talk about Lin Xian first. This old man also didn't expect this. I thought this was a failure, but Lin Xian actually turned the tide and destroyed the spatial walkway. Although there were other people attracting attention, he still dared to make a move when the barrier still exists. Moreover, he succeeded. This courage really makes this old man admire him. The seventh elder nodded. Murong Feng also nodded and said, That's right. I've known this brat for a long time. From the very beginning, I've been very optimistic about him. Indeed, his current achievements are within my expectations. Moreover, to be honest, the people by Lin Xian's side, whether it's his team members or the other children who are still growing up, have all benefited greatly from Lin Xian. This kid has the potential to be a general. I think so too. The hidden dragon army that trained him before also saw something special about him. He has an ability that allows him to gather his team members. Although he's not very talented and learned much, didn't everyone start from this step? These people were discussing spiritedly. Then, according to everyone's opinion, are you ready to give him power? The seventh elder glanced at everyone present. Murong Feng stood up and said, I think we can give it a try. Lin Xian may not know much about the art of war, but in the martial arts academy, he also studied military affairs. Moreover, the people around him are also quite knowledgeable in this field, including the martial arts academy's teacher, Xiao Runing, who is also his good friend. I think we can give it a try. If we give Lin Xian a sufficient army and let him be in charge, to be honest, I'm quite relieved. Wouldn't that be a bit too much? This Lin Xian is good at leading a small team. In ancient times, he would be a very good general. However, a general is a general. A general who is in charge of all the generals is not a general who is qualified to be a general. If the general makes a mistake in his decision, everyone will be buried with him. 1 million. The seventh elder said, then glanced at everyone. This old man is also very optimistic about him. Give him 1 million and let him be the commander of Lin and city. At the same time, Lin and city will be his own. When the human race and the demon race fight, Lin and city will inevitably become the target of public criticism. For Lin Xian, guarding Lin and city is more important than anyone else. That is, Lin and city is his everything. I think it's very suitable. Yes, 1 million. Actually, it's not a lot. As the defending army, there's not much that can be wrong. At the same time, there are other teams in Lin and city. We can give it a try. If it succeeds, then we can give him more soldiers. Then, Palace Master Murong, I'll leave this matter to you. Will that kid refuse? Murong Feng smiled helplessly. Others can't wait, but he might refuse. I'll give it a try. Chapter 1830. Lin Xian had indeed returned to Lin and city. For a 2-star heavenly Dao realm Lin Xian, it was very convenient for him to travel back and forth between Lin and city and heaven capital. Just as he returned to hug his beloved little Shishir and little Tianyi, Lin Xian received a message from Murong Feng. "What's the matter?" Linglong Shui asked. Lin Xian placed little Shishir and little Tianyi on the sofa by the side. They went to play by the side before he said, "Uncle Murong wants to give me soldiers." "Isn't that good?" Bing Lingyue said. "It's troublesome." Lin Xian scratched his head and said, "I think it's pretty good. The soldiers are definitely for you to protect Lin and city. With soldiers in your hands to protect your city, you should be more confident in doing certain things." Lin Xian nodded. "That's true. But I still want to spend more time with you." "There's no need for that. We have quite a lot of fun without you." Yi Renbing walked over with a smile on her face. Hey, that's too much." Lin Xian glared at her. "Alright, just agree." Lin Xian nodded. "Yes, but I'm worried that I don't have the ability. It's just defending a city. It's not like I'm asking you to lead an army of 1,000,000 to attack the Fey race. These are two different concepts." Yi Renbing said. "That's true." Lin Xian then sent a message to Murong Feng, agreeing to the matter. "Oh right. Is there any news from Huangshi?" After all, Yi Renbing's 10th Fey God Temple was no more. It had been replaced by another Fey God. The old location was still there. It could only be a faction that belonged to Yi Renbing alone. Clearly, there weren't many stronger factions. That side was basically managed by Xue Bingxin and Xue Binglon. Her two subordinates were also the girls that Lin Xian had slept with. As for Huangshi's second Beast God Temple, it was still the second Beast God Temple in the eyes of the Myriad Demon Alliance. However, because Huangshi was a phoenix, the Myriad Demon Alliance couldn't order her to do anything, they could only discuss with her. They didn't know that Huangshi was now standing with Lin Xian. Therefore, it was even possible that Lin Xian could learn some of the plans of the 10,000 Demon Alliance through Huangshi. "Huangshi will remain neutral," Linglong Shui said. "Neutral? That makes sense." Lin Xian pondered for a moment and expressed his understanding. She was a demon. In the war between humans and demons, she could only remain neutral. For example, Linglong Shui and the others were also neutral. They would only take action when their interests were threatened. For example, Lin and city belonged to Lin Xian. They didn't care about the war between humans and demons, but they would definitely take care of Lin and city. However, Huangshi, after all, she was still the Fey God of the second Fey God Temple. Her identity was also quite special. The dragon vein in Lin and city has begun to erupt. Do you feel that the spiritual energy of heaven and earth in Lin and city is now nearly twice as strong as before? Linglong Shui asked. Lin Xian nodded. Yes. Does that mean that this place will be completely exposed soon? It might be at least 20 times denser than the current spiritual energy of heaven and earth. Such a place is already an exaggeration for any force, no, for humans and demons. Furthermore, it's a treasure land that must be obtained. Things might be more difficult than you think. Lin Xian said, "That's fine. I'll make the decisions in my territory. If anyone dares to behave atrociously in my territory, I will definitely not let them off easily. Moreover, when I have troops in my hands, who will dare to be arrogant? The humans definitely won't dare to do anything openly. At most, they will do it secretly. As for the demons, they will also have to fight. The main thing is, what can we obtain from the dragon vein?" They sat down. "It's hard to say. There may be treasures from thousands of years ago, some shocking secrets, or some special ruins. It's really hard to say. It's probably going to happen soon." Lin Xian nodded. "That's good. I'll probably stay in Lin and city for the time being. Let me see what we can get." In addition to accompanying them, Lin Xian also wanted to accompany Lan Xingxing, Zhao Yunqi, Xiao Runing, Yi Yi, Bai Xianxian, and so on. So many girls wanted to accompany him. It was tiring. But he was still very satisfied. This Lin Xian is really amazing. He can even discover the dragon vein. No wonder everyone was in a hurry to sell their businesses in Lin and city and flee to inland cities. However, this Lin Xian did the opposite and used the lowest price to build Lin and city into his force. I didn't know at that time. So this is the case. In a certain cave, a total of 12 people gathered here. The person who spoke was Zhao Mengyue. There were men and women, but they were all young. Recently, I've been hearing some news about this Lin Xian. Is he really that amazing? A fatso said. The bespectacled man sat there holding a notebook and said in a weak voice, according to the information, this Lin Xian went from having no cultivation realm to the present heavenly Tao 2-star realm in less than 3 years. This is unprecedented. The people around Lin Xian are all at rather high cultivation realms. Although it's not that difficult to raise one's cultivation realm in this era, it still shows how powerful he is. Then, it's time to meet this old friend. According to my investigations, an extremely top-grade heaven and earth spiritual item will appear in Lin and city in 2 days. Zhao Mengyue said. Boss, what kind of heaven and earth spiritual item is it? How top-grade is it? Zhao Mengyue said, it's one of the 10 great sacred artifacts. I can't be sure which one it is, but I believe the others will soon know about it. When the time comes, it will be a tough battle. However, our goal is the sacred artifact. If we can get our hands on it, we must not linger. Got it. Then, Zhao Mengyue looked at Linya and said, don't go for now. Linya didn't say a word. Alright, that's it. Let's move out. Yes. What? A treasure is about to appear? Lin Xian received a call from Murong Feng. Yes, I'm not sure what it is exactly. I estimate that tomorrow morning, the sky above your Lin and city will be purple with purple air from the east. What kind of treasure is it? Lin Xian asked out of curiosity. It actually made them so concerned. It might be one of the 10 great sacred artifacts. 10 great sacred artifacts. Lin Xian muttered to himself. Yellow, black, earth, and sky sacred artifacts were the grades of spiritual artifacts. Be it humans or fae, they definitely had sacred artifacts. However, the 10 great sacred artifacts that Murong Feng mentioned were the 10 most powerful divine artifacts in history. It was just like the 10 great divine artifacts on Earth, the Shenyuan family, and the Kongtong seal. Chapter 1831. Of course, Lin Xian cared a lot about it. F***ck. This was his territory. When the time came, countless people would come to snatch the treasure. How should he put it? Lin Xian didn't have the qualifications to stop them. Even if this place belonged to him, Lin Xian, in theory, Lin Xian couldn't say that this place belonged to him. Therefore, everything here should belong to him. The competition was huge. When the time comes, all the major clans and major forces will send people over, right? Lin Xian asked. Of course. That's for sure. In theory, it belongs to the continent, and only the strong can get it. When the time comes, I'm afraid that the major forces will fight each other. There's no other way, you can't stop this kind of thing. The Holy Temple will send people, but of course, they won't be my people. It can't be helped. That's human nature. Most importantly, this is no ordinary treasure. Whoever obtains this treasure will have his life changed. Murong Feng said. Lin Xian nodded. I understand. I know you're unhappy, but there's nothing I can do about this. I can only say that you have to try your best. I can't help you because if my force interferes in this matter, it will be a big matter. The Holy Temple's people who go over are not really part of the Holy Temple's forces. They are just the forces of the 12 elders. They belong to their individual forces. The 3 major forces won't interfere in this matter. Murong Feng said. Then, can I kill people? Lin Xian asked. How should I put it? In theory you can. However, it depends on the situation. The human race needs to unite against the outside world. However, this is a different concept. It's a very normal fight for resources. You have the authority to control Lin and City, but the resources of Lin and City are not something you can control. Morong Fong said. I understand. Thank you, Uncle Morong. Be careful. Okay. Lin Xian then hung up the phone. 10 great sacred tools. Damn it. I won't agree if you want to snatch it from under my nose. Lin Xian muttered. However, as for how to do it. Lin Xian normally needed the help of Ling Longshui and the others. Ling Longshui and Ling Longyue's powerful space should be very useful. However, to tell the truth, Lin Xian really didn't want them to take action. It wasn't that he didn't need them to take action. After all, they were all part of the demon race. Lin Xian really didn't want them to be exposed. Even if some people knew that there was a powerful demon race behind Lin Xian, they didn't know the specific abilities of the demon race. If he let Ling Longshui and the others take action, Lin and City, they would be very clear about the power behind Lin and City's Lin and City. Lin Xian. After all, Lin Xian, Lin Xian, Lin Xian, Lin Xian. Azura Palace. Lin Xian pondered for a moment. No. Lin Xian couldn't trust most of the people from the Azura Palace. Although they had joined the Azura Palace and were now part of the Azura Palace, with the temptation of such a treasure, what if one of them got their hands on it? If the roles were reversed, would you hand it over to your superior? Therefore, not only could he not let the people from the Azura Palace take action, in order to avoid any accidents, he had to let Bai Xian give the order to forbid anyone from the Azura Palace from taking part in this operation. If things went wrong, they would become Lin Xian's opponent. If things went wrong, the Azura Palace would fall apart. Therefore, the safest way for Lin Xian was to rely on himself. Then, Lin Xian opened the group and spoke in it. Are you guys free? Get ready to do something big. That's right. Lin Xian was relying on his own team. With everyone together, they wouldn't be any weaker than any other power. What? Lin Xian then explained the situation. Come. We'll definitely come. I'll be there tomorrow. I just got home. Wait for me. I'll be there the day after tomorrow. Feng Ling also sent a message. Lin Xian pondered for a moment. I think there will be a lot of geniuses from all the major powers. If it's not enough, I'll have to find Bai Xian. Lin Xian then went to the Azura Palace. Bai Xian and Lang Wuxin were chatting in the courtyard. Oh, young Master Lin is here. Bai Xian stood up with a smile and looked at Lin Xian. Lang Wuxin also looked at Lin Xian with her beautiful eyes, but she didn't say anything. Because there was still a barrier between her and Lin Xian. Although she was happy and relaxed during her stay here, she still couldn't take the initiative to tell Lin Xian that she didn't care anymore. Even if she didn't care anymore, she couldn't take the initiative to tell Lin Xian that she didn't care anymore. Something big has happened. The treasure in Lin and City is about to appear. Do you know about this? Lin Xian asked. I know. The Azura Palace's information network is not to be trifled with. Bai Xian said. I'm short of manpower. I can't touch most of the people in the Azura Palace, because they can't be trusted. When the time comes, just tell them not to interfere. But, you have to give me some trustworthy people. Lin Xian sat down and said. I can, but you said it yourself. The people of the Azura Palace won't do anything. If you let some of them do it, wouldn't it be bad? Bai Xian said. She was very smart. Although Lin Xian didn't say anything, she knew what Lin Xian was thinking. Lin Xian rubbed his chin. That was true. Lang Wuxin and I will help you. The others won't do anything. It's not enough. Bai Xian smiled and said, Don't forget how many people will come here this time. They will definitely fight with each other. On the contrary, the more people we bring, the more likely we will become their target. It's better to have fewer people, which will make it easier for us to move. We're going there to seize the treasure, not to fight. Lin Xian pondered for a moment. You're right. We'll just take the treasure. Once we do that, we'll leave that place. What's the point of having more people there? After all, we can't go too far. The three major powers are still watching. Lin Xian said. That's the reason. All right, that's all for now. Lin Xian nodded. Is there anything else? Bai Xian asked. Yes. Lin Xian raised his head and looked at her with a smile. Bai Xian was speechless. Looking at Lin Xian's expression, why did she feel that something was wrong? Lin Xian flashed to Bai Xuan's side and carried her in his arms. I haven't bullied you for a long time. This time, I'll bully you properly. Lin Xian carried her and rushed into the room. Lang Wuxin was speechless. Then, she was left in the courtyard. 3 days passed just like that. On the first day, just as Murong Feng said, a purple light appeared above Linen City. It wasn't a disaster, but a purple aura that gathered the spiritual energy of heaven and earth. It was a good thing. It also meant that the rumors were true. Chapter 1832. That night, Lin Xian and the rest gathered together. Lin Xian, can we go? Lan Xingxing asked as she ate Lin Xian's dishes in satisfaction. Lin Xian glanced at the lass. He first met Lan Xingxing at the martial arts academy. She was impressed by Lin Xian's delicious food. Now, Lan Xingxing had also grown up. She was really beautiful, right? She was still so innocent and pure. Upon hearing Lan Xingxing's words, many of the other girls looked at Lin Xian with anticipation. Why would you go? Lin Xian rolled his eyes. Why? We can help you too. Lan Xingxing asked. Lin Xian then said, when the time comes, there will be a bunch of heavenly Tao realm existences. What are you going to do? Get beaten up? Upon hearing Lin Xian's words, they found it reasonable. Then I'll become stronger as soon as possible. Lan Xingxing said. All right, let's eat. Xiao Runing then said to Lin Xian, someone from above contacted me and asked me to help you. Huh? Lin Xian scratched his head and looked at Xiao Runing. Xiao Runing was also puzzled. The higher-ups had told her to contact Lin Xian, and Lin Xian would tell her the details. It left Xiao Runing dumbfounded. Don't tell me they want you to lead a team with me? Lead what team? Xiao Runing asked. She was often at the martial arts academy, so she was relatively slow to learn of the news. It's like this. The Holy Temple will give me 1,000,000 troops when the time comes. Lin Xian. Xiao Runing. Is the Holy Temple crazy? They dare to give you so many soldiers? Aren't you afraid of something happening? It wasn't that Xiao Runing didn't trust Lin Xian, but everyone had their own specializations. She knew very well what this idiot had been doing in the martial arts academy. When it came to leading troops into battle, this Lin Xian really didn't have any strategies. That's why it's possible. Why did they ask you to help me? Lin Xian grinned and looked at Xiao Runing. All right. When? Lin Xian replied, maybe in a few days, because I still have a lot of things to deal with in Lin and City. However, the news might have already reached them, so I should just head over and report. Why don't you head over and help me hold the fort? It'll be easier for me to go there then. Come on, I'm just here to assist you. What am I supposed to do when I go over? Let's talk about it when you're there. You can take these few days as a vacation. Xinue, let's go shopping after the mission is over. Xiao Xinue nodded. Okay. Then you guys must be careful. Yi said softly. Yeah. The struggle between factions can even lead to life-threatening situations. At this time, those people only care about benefits. The main thing is that the benefits are big enough to make them lose their rationality and judgment. Zhao Yunqi said. Zhao Yunqi was a smart girl. She was also exceptionally calm and collected. You know a lot, girl. Lin Xian ruffled her hair, causing Zhao Yunqi to blush and lower her head. Yes, that's indeed the case. That's why there are only about 10 people in Little Yu's group this time. Our goal is to obtain the treasure, not to compete with them to see who's stronger and who's brought more experts. Lin Xian. Then, some people might say, if you use an overwhelming force, then no one will dare to compete with you. Firstly, Lin Xian didn't have such an overwhelming force. Secondly, even if he did, would they be willing to accept it? Of course they wouldn't. Instead, they might join forces to deal with you first. Therefore, Lin Xian felt that it was good to only send the 10 of them. Bai Xianxian and Lang Wuxin didn't need to participate. Will there be demons? An Xian blinked and asked. Lin Xian, there might be demons, but it's hard to say. Those demons who dare to compete are probably very strong, but they're probably acting alone. They're trying their luck to see if they can snatch the treasure. After all, this is human territory. Those demons wouldn't dare to openly come here and compete with human forces for the treasure, right? But Lin Xian was worried about one thing. He wasn't worried that the demons would come to snatch the treasure, even if the temptation of the treasure was very great. But, if anyone dared to come, wouldn't that be like a sheep entering a tiger's den? Wouldn't that be courting death? Especially at this time. Even if they came, it wouldn't be a large scale. However, Lin Xian wasn't worried about this. Lin Xian was worried about Zhao Mengyue. The power behind this woman was probably not small now, right? According to Lin Xian's investigation and that of others, Zhao Mengyue had been very well behaved during this period of time. But it was precisely because of this that her power was growing. Especially since Lin Xian knew that she was looking for the power of the 12 demon gods. It was probably about time. Now, it was time to see how much power she had developed. Lin Xian even had a feeling that this was something that an ambitious and easy to act on. Moreover, this was a power that wanted to rapidly develop. Not only this power, Lin Xian even felt that with Zhao Mengyue's character, she might even be secretly planning something. To be honest, Lin Xian was really worried about this Zhao Mengyue. Because Lin Xian was never afraid of the strong. Lin Xian was only afraid of one kind of people, and that was crafty and cunning people, villains, or perverts. Because this kind of people wouldn't do anything fancy. They would disgust you to death. At that moment, Bai Xianxian walked over. They had booked a huge private room to have a meal together. How is it? Lin Xian asked. Yes. There might be more people than expected. Many of the top-ranked family clans in the 5 empires that can produce Heavenly Dao realm experts are basically here. Apart from that, the geniuses you saw in the Holy Temple, as well as the various reclusive family clans and factions geniuses. Then, there are many experts from the continent. They either have friends who are experts, or they are here as individuals. In short, it's a little exaggerated. Bai Xianxian sat down and said, there's no need to pay too much attention to those individuals. Most of them are here to try their luck. Is the Light Association here? Lin Xian asked. They are here. And there are quite a number of them. Bai Xianxian said. It was naturally impossible for the Light Association to send the elders. Those were experts who truly belonged to the Light Association. The Light Association would definitely send Jiang Feng and the other teams. This was because even if the Light Association wanted to come, it was reasonable for them to not be allowed to. As the pillar of support for humanity, it was impossible for the Light Association to compete with the human family clans and factions to snatch something, right? Wouldn't it be a little too outrageous if word got out? Chapter 1833. Lin Xian knew that it was going to be a little difficult this time. However, his advantage lay in the fact that he was a spatial attribute cultivator. However, he reckoned that there would definitely be a lot of spatial treasures here. However, there would definitely be a way to decide who the treasure would end up in. This method would depend on the situation when the time came. Because it was impossible for them to fight to the death for a treasure, right? It was absolutely impossible. Those forces would definitely not allow it. If that happened, the 3 major forces and even the Radiant Association would truly intervene in this matter. However, that would definitely not happen. At most, there would be a few unfortunate deaths in the battle. Looking at the situation, if it's not tonight, it'll be tomorrow. Lin Xian looked out of the window. At this moment, the sky outside Lin and city was purple. This did not give off a strange feeling, nor was it scary. Instead, it gave off a novel feeling. Have you confirmed the location? Feng Ling asked. Lin Xian looked at Bai Xianxian. Bai Xianxian nodded. I've roughly confirmed it. The location should be near the Moon Mountain. Moon Mountain. Fortunately, it's a remote place. Lin Xian muttered. This Moon Mountain is a rather strange place. Near the Moon Mountain, all the instruments will lose their effect. Everyone says that it's because of the magnetic field. Since it's basically confirmed that a top-grade treasure will be born near the Moon Mountain, the magnetic field or the cause of this might be a heaven and earth spiritual item. Or a demonic beast from ancient times. Wu Yunuo said. Yes. You must pay attention to this. The birth of a heaven and earth spiritual item, especially a top-grade heaven and earth spiritual item, is usually accompanied by a powerful demonic beast. Isn't this heaven and earth spiritual item rumored to be one of the 10 great sacred artifacts? If the demonic beast accompanying this sacred artifact is an extremely heaven-defying existence. Xiao Runing said. We're also clear about this. Lin Xian nodded. Why would the birth of a heaven and earth spiritual item usually be accompanied by a top-grade demonic beast? The reason was actually very simple. First, this spiritual item of heaven and earth was used to seal a certain demonic beast, and after a long period of time, the seal was removed and the demonic beast gradually loosened, and then came out together. Secondly, for some powerful existences, their perception of some specific powers was stronger than that of the human race. This was especially so when they might have sensed it many, many years ago. Normally, they wouldn't be able to sense it now. Then, they would fall into a deep slumber with their top-grade spiritual tools or spiritual items of heaven and earth. Of course, there were also benefits. They could borrow the strength of the demon race to cultivate because the demon race's cultivation speed was originally slow. This was especially so for those demon beasts who didn't choose to take human form. They were also willing to do so. To the demon beasts, this was an opportunity. Thirdly, other than for cultivation, demonic beasts also wanted to obtain heaven and earth spiritual items or spiritual weapons. However, generally speaking, it was not easy to obtain a spiritual weapon that could make a top-notch demonic beast sleep for hundreds, thousands, or even tens of thousands of years. When a spiritual weapon was strong to a certain extent, it would have its own consciousness. This kind of consciousness could only be forcefully recognized as its master. If you couldn't do it, then you could only accumulate it over time and wait for the spiritual weapon's power to gather to a certain extent before it was born. At that moment, the spiritual weapon was actually the strongest and easiest to obtain. Some spiritual weapons even had a weapon spirit, and the weapon spirit was its own consciousness. To be able to guard one of the 10 great sacred weapons, I'm afraid it's a powerful demonic beast that has lived for thousands or even tens of thousands of years and has yet to take human form. Han Chuxue frowned and said, in fact, no matter how strong this demonic beast is, it's just an ancient fierce beast. Although it's powerful, there will definitely be a lot of people who can fight against it. I'm just worried. What if that demonic beast already has the ability to control that sacred weapon? If that's the case, I'm afraid it'll be difficult. Morong Yu said. That's not very likely, right? Lin Xian asked. It's very likely. A powerful demonic beast that has accompanied a powerful spiritual weapon for thousands or even tens of thousands of years has already formed some kind of resonance with the spiritual weapon. Especially at the stage of birth, the spiritual weapon is the easiest to obtain. If there's a demonic beast, that demonic beast will be the first to come into contact with the spiritual weapon, so it's possible that the demonic beast has already taken control of the spiritual weapon. Morong Yu continued. Then we still have to let Xiao Linglong and the others go with us. Lin Xian pondered and said, I don't think so. There will be so many people at that time. If we let Sister Linglong and the others go, then when other forces discover that there are stronger existences, won't they also send stronger existences to compete? Ling Ying asked. I don't know. Let's go take a look first. Let's eat. One day passed just like that. The next night, the entire Lin and city was restless. Oh my God! What's going on? Why is the heaven and earth spiritual energy in Lin and city so dense? And it's so dark and the sky is so purple. Is there something big going on? I haven't heard anything. Lin and city seems to be a dragon vein, the center of this continent. The heaven and earth spiritual energy is very dense, and all kinds of rare treasures will gradually appear. This is also why everyone wanted to leave Lin and city, but the Yaxien group went against the grain and bought Lin and city. This Lin Xian is amazing. Then what's the situation now? It's said that a very powerful heaven and earth spiritual weapon is going to be born tonight. It might be at Moon Mountain. What the F***CK? Aren't we going to give it a try? Give it a try my ass. Everyone is at the heavenly Tao realm. What realm are we going to be at? Why are we going there? Holy **T. It's good to watch the show. Why aren't we going to watch such a rare scene? There will probably be a lot of people going. What if there's danger? You said it yourself. There will be a lot of people fighting over it. Do you think they will attack us? This is an open topic. It won't be a problem. That's true. It was unknown who leaked this information, but it was no longer a secret. Therefore, the number of people gathered at Moon Mountain would be more than anyone could imagine. Look, it's Lin Xian. Some people looked at Lin Xian. That's right, Lin Xian and company had set off as well. Miao Xiaomiao and company did not go. Lin Xian forbade them from going. They were not allowed to watch the show or get close. It was unknown what kind of danger there was, so it was best they did not go. This was because once such a powerful existence escaped their control and charged into the crowd, they would be instantly killed even if they were at the Great Void Realm. It was too dangerous. Lin Xian, are you going to Moon Mountain? Many people came over. Huh? Lin Xian looked at them. How did you know? It's not like it's a secret. Lin Xian frowned. Why was it leaked? Chapter 1834. Lin Xian couldn't understand. Logically speaking, there shouldn't be so many ordinary warriors who knew about this. This was because this matter was rather special. It was only recently spread among the more powerful forces. Even if some of these people couldn't control their mouths and spread it, it shouldn't have spread to this extent, right? Moreover, the higher-ups said that it was best not to spread this news for the time being. They knew that this news couldn't be kept a secret. But now, because they didn't know much about the dragon vein in Lin and city and didn't know how dangerous it was, they wanted to see what the situation was. They didn't want these people to be in danger. But now, so many people along the way knew about it. Although Lin Xian knew that this matter couldn't be hidden, especially since there was a heaven and earth anomaly in Lin and city, what they said was too true. There must be someone behind this matter. It was this person who let so many people know about this matter. What was the purpose? Lin Xian really couldn't think of what the purpose was. If the roles were reversed, what would happen? Revealing this secret was nothing more than letting more people go to the Moon Mountain. Then what? What could be done? Could it be that this person was someone who hated evil? Did he think that it was unfair to the ordinary warriors for the major forces to hide this matter? How could Lin Xian know? In short, this matter made Lin Xian a little concerned. He took it to heart. He felt that this matter was a little abnormal. Ah! Hasn't this matter already spread? Everyone knows about it. Lin Xian asked the man. That's right, that's right. You people are really not good enough. You've become rich and you don't care about us anymore. Sigh, as they say, capitalism is evil. The corners of Lin Xian and the others' mouths twitched. It's not that we don't want to let you know, but the person who let you know might not have good intentions. Lin Xian said. Why do you say that? Lin Xian's words puzzled them. Lin Xian then said, according to our information, be it MT Moon or any other place in the future, anything is extremely dangerous. For example, tonight's empty moon might have a heavenly Tao realm or even an ancient fey beast with an extremely high realm appear. So think about it. Why didn't we leak this information? We at the heavenly Tao realm aren't afraid of such fey beasts. Or at the very least, we have the ability to protect ourselves. Ignoring the likes of you, even heavenly venerables or great void existences would die from the slightest contact with such an existence's aura. If you don't wish to die, go ahead or try your luck. It's your choice. After saying that, Lin Xian led them towards the Moon Mountain. He believed that after he said this sentence, they would understand what they should understand. Do we have any plans this time? Feng Ling moved closer to Lin Xian and asked. The other girls also looked at Lin Xian and Zhuge Feng. After all, Lin Xian was indeed their backbone. Lin Xian lit a cigarette and took a puff. Then, he looked at them solemnly and said, "We don't have any specific plans. All we can do is play it by ear. However, I have to warn you of something. Tonight's matter might have a mastermind behind it." "Are you talking about the person who leaked the news?" Lin Xian nodded. "Yes, but I don't understand either. What's the point of having more people head to MT Moon? Furthermore, most of them will be people with low cultivation realms who are just there to watch the show. It's rather odd. Could it be that fey beast's doing?" Wang Xintong stuck out her tongue and said. Upon hearing Wang Xintong's words, Lin Xian paused. "Could that really be the case?" Lin Xian asked. I was just saying it casually," Wang Xintong hurriedly explained. No. Is there really such a possibility?" Lin Xian shook his head and said. Everyone looked at Lin Xian. Lin Xian said, "I'm not sure either. However, there must be a reason behind this matter. I really don't know what the reason is. We can only be careful." "Yes, if you think about it carefully, there's something fishy about this matter. It's right to be careful," Morongyu also said. "Yes, if it's a fey beast, there is indeed such a possibility. Fey beasts are different from natural treasures. Natural treasures need to be born, while fey beasts are asleep purely because of natural treasures. They can wake up at any time. Such a strong fey beast, its intelligence is no different from ours. It definitely knows what the birth of natural treasures will attract. Then, if it's a fey beast, if it's smart enough, it might even use this to achieve its goal," Wu Yunhua said. "But if it's a fey beast, why? Does it want to let more people go and catch them all in one fell swoop? What's the point of that? It means that it's sufficiently strong and confident. However, if it wants to kill more people, if it's sufficiently awesome, can't it just charge into the city?" Zhuge Feng shook his head, expressing his puzzlement. "That's why I said it's really strange. I can't figure it out. Therefore, this operation might be more dangerous than we imagined. Also, after we go over, let's see how we can communicate this matter to all the factions that come. It's not to share this matter with them or give them suggestions, but to let everyone know what's going on," Lin Xian said. Regardless, from Lin Xian's point of view, this matter might be the most difficult to discuss tonight. It might even be more dangerous than the fey beast. For some reason, it was intuition. It wasn't just intuition. After all, everyone knew how dangerous this place was and how powerful the fey beasts were. Under such circumstances, if one dared to pull any tricks, it meant that they weren't afraid. This matter could only be a plot by a person or a faction. Therefore, it was best if everyone knew what was going on. The main target was clearly Lin Xian and every heavenly Tao realm expert. Soon, they arrived in the vicinity of MT Moon. MT Moon wasn't considered a small place. It was rather big, but mainly because it was remote. But at that moment, Lin Xian and company were looking at the vicinity of MT Moon. It was impossible to tell how many people there were. It wouldn't be an exaggeration to say that there were thousands or even tens of thousands. Furthermore, there were still people coming from all directions. There would definitely be more people when the time came. "Young Master Lin, everyone, good evening." Zhang Feng walked over with a group of people with a smile. Lin Xian had a rather good impression of Zhang Feng. At the very least, he would consider the safety of his teammates. Good evening. What's the situation now? Lin Xian asked. I don't know yet, but why are there so many people? Chapter 1835. Zhang Feng was only making a passing remark, but he did not consider the matter on a deeper level. The main reason was that there were so many human experts and heavenly Tao realm experts in such a place. Furthermore, there were some who did not come but were secretly watching the situation. What could possibly happen? However, Zhang Feng was indeed rather surprised. This place was different from what he imagined. Wasn't there a little too many people? Lin Xian said, right? There are indeed too many people here, right? The news has been leaked? Zhang Feng also asked in surprise. Lin Xian nodded. Yeah, I wonder who leaked it. That's odd. Why would it leak? He found it unreasonable. Think about it. Could it be them? It was rather odd because there was competition between them. If they did not wish for more people to know about it, it was definitely the same for others. Was there anything bad about knowing? Firstly, it would increase the number of casualties. Secondly, the competition would be even greater. Although these people with low cultivation realms did not affect them much, what if there were more people? It was hard to say. Furthermore, what if there were many experts who did not know about it? It was unfathomable. Therefore, Captain Jiang might have to pay attention to this matter. Lin Xian said. Zhang Feng looked at Lin Xian and frowned slightly. He did not pay much attention to the matter in the beginning. It was fine if it was leaked, but with Lin Xian saying so, he felt that it was not as simple as it seemed. Are you implying that someone did it on purpose? Zhang Feng was no ordinary person. He was also very smart. The moment Lin Xian said that, he immediately reacted. Captain Jiang, don't you think so? Lin Xian said with a smile. Heh. A man beside Zhang Feng laughed and said, That's very normal. The main thing is that the people who came are all warriors, but their realms are only so. So what if there are more of them? What kind of storm could he stir up? Captain Lin, aren't you being too sensitive? No. Zhang Feng shook his head. This matter is indeed very strange, but some things are hard to say. However, this matter really needs to be paid attention to. Then Zhang Feng looked at Lin Xian and asked, Do you have any leads? Lin Xian shook his head. No, it's all just speculation. However, I still feel uneasy. Maybe we're in danger, or maybe it's the demonic beast's doing. After all, demonic beasts can be born at any time. I'll go tell the others. Zhang Feng nodded and walked away. He felt that it was necessary. He wasn't saying that Lin Xian's worries were groundless. He felt that it was really possible. He agreed with Lin Xian's words, so he was willing to talk about this matter. Lin Xian glanced around. What are you looking for? Ling Ying asked. The others looked at Lin Xian. Lin Xian frowned and said, I am looking for those people. You mean Zhao Mengyue and the others? Lin Xian nodded. He had an intuition. Zhao Mengyue and the others would definitely come here. Their current situation was to secretly strengthen themselves. However, they were very arrogant and indeed had the ability to fight for it. Or rather, they secretly made some small moves. Or perhaps, this matter was because of them. Was this their plan? What if it was really possible? Do they dare to come? Wu Yuhan asked, puzzled. Why wouldn't they dare? For a group of people who think highly of themselves, what wouldn't they dare to do? Moreover, they don't have much influence, so they can only rely on a small number of people. It's very convenient for them to move around. Moreover, Lin Xian rubbed his chin and said, Based on my understanding of Zhao Mengyue, her brain is ordinary. However, this person is very abnormal. Facing a strong and abnormal opponent, this kind of opponent is more terrifying than those who are smarter, isn't it? Yes, Because it's difficult to use your own brain to think of what an abnormal person will do. This kind of person often does things differently from normal people, and they don't care about the consequences. Zhuge Feng said. But their forces aren't strong, right? In such a situation, the most likely thing they will do is to hide themselves, and then quietly look for an opportunity to fight for the treasure instead of going against everyone, right? Do they have the ability? Lin Xian also didn't understand. I don't know. It's all speculation. Let's go up the mountain and see what's going on. After saying that, Lin Xian led them to the moon. That Lin Xian led his team? Lin Xian's arrival had indeed attracted a lot of attention. Although in their eyes, Lin Xian wasn't the biggest threat, this was his territory. Therefore, others would think that they were snatching things in his territory. If they were in his shoes, no one would be happy. Under normal circumstances, this Lin Xian should have made a big fuss, but he didn't. Instead, it made those people feel even more strange. Strange. Logically speaking, this shouldn't be the case. Don't be fooled. There might be a lot of Lin Xian's people in the crowd. It doesn't matter. There are so many people here. No matter how many people this Lin Xian has, can he compete with all the forces? You guys stay here. Be careful. I'll see if I can find anything, Lin Xian said to the others. Don't we go together? Lin Xian shook his head. No need. I'm on this moon mountain. It's fine. Okay. Then, Lin Xian opened his eye of cave spirit and wandered around the moon mountain. During this time, there were a lot of people. They didn't think that there was anything wrong with Lin Xian. It was normal for him to check the terrain of the moon mountain. Of course, Lin Xian wasn't checking the terrain. The eye of cave spirit allowed Lin Xian to see a lot of things, including the situation of each person. Lin Xian could even tell if each person was a human or a demon. There was no need to say more about their realm, attributes, and so on. At this moment, the spiritual energy of heaven and earth in the moon mountain was very dense. The sky above the moon mountain was purple. It was very exaggerated, but also very beautiful. From the looks of it, the spiritual item of heaven and earth would be born tonight. Even now, Lin Xian was suspecting something. He even suspected that this demon might have transformed into a human and was in the crowd. Uneasy. It was better to be careful. The eye of cave spirit couldn't see anything detailed because the entire moon mountain was enveloped by an extremely powerful spiritual energy of heaven and earth. If Lin Xian wanted to, he might be able to accurately find the location of the spiritual item of heaven and earth. However, it was meaningless. What is this Lin Xian doing? Why do I feel that he's not just checking the terrain? Chapter 1836. In the eyes of some geniuses, Lin Xian might still not be worthy of their attention, but this was only half of their thoughts. If they really didn't take Lin Xian seriously, then why would they pay so much attention to Lin Xian's actions? Well, this is Lin Xian's territory. Could he be secretly up to something? They were still a little worried. Let's go and take a look. Then some people gathered around Lin Xian. Ha ha ha, young Master Lin, let's get to know each other. I'm Zhang Chong from the Zhang family. Zhang Chong smiled and stretched out his hand to Lin Xian. Lin Xian reached out and shook his hand symbolically. What's the matter? Lin Xian asked. Ha ha ha, it's nothing serious. I just saw young Master Lin wandering around here and looking around. I'm a little curious about what young Master Lin is doing. Lin Xian smiled and said, I'm thinking about something. Oh, what's the matter? They looked at Lin Xian. Lin Xian said, Look, in addition to the major families and forces near Moon Mountain, there are no less than 10,000 people here. There is no lack of a large number of celestial masters and great virtual realm cultivators. I'm thinking, who leaked this news? What's the benefit of leaking this news and luring them here? Or is there a conspiracy? Hearing Lin Xian's words, they frowned. At first, they didn't care, but now that they heard Lin Xian's words, they felt that there was a reason behind it. What do you think, young Master Lin? Lin Xian shook his head. I don't know. That's why I'm here to see if there's any explanation. If it's possible, I hope that all of you can share this matter with the people you see. Even though we're competitors this time, in a sense, we're on the same side. If there are any forces or people who want to use this opportunity to plot against all of us, then we still have to face a common enemy. Well, Zhong Chong nodded and walked away with his men. He still had to pay a little attention because today was indeed a very special day. If someone had the heart, they could even do some very exaggerated things for this treasure. Time passed slowly, and everyone was basically conserving their energy in a certain position, waiting for the birth of the heaven and earth spirit treasure. Most of the people at the foot of the Moon Mountain did not come up. They were just wandering around nearby. Although they wanted to come and take a share of the pie, they didn't dare to act rashly. After all, the ones above were the heavenly Tao. Midnight, midnight. Suddenly, many experts opened their eyes at the same time. He's here. Their gazes simultaneously turned towards the center of Moon Mountain. Shua, at the same time, from somewhere on the Moon Mountain, a white beam of light suddenly shot into the sky, connecting the heavens and the earth. At the point where the light met the void, a whirlpool appeared. Purple, black, and white lights were twisting and contorting. In the blink of an eye, the wind and clouds around them changed. Their clothes and hair danced wildly in the wind. Everyone became vigilant, and some of them even took out their spirit weapons. They knew that the heaven and earth spirit treasure was born. What followed next was a great battle. It was either with the demonic beasts or between them. The experts from all over the place, and even some not far away, couldn't participate in this competition because of their status. For this operation, there is a rule in the human race. That is, the major forces can send people, but the people you send can't be too old. Therefore, you will see that most of the people here are young people, at most middle-aged people. If the experts of the major forces and the older generation all came out and competed with each other, the battle would be huge. The human race didn't want that to happen. Many of them came to watch, and they definitely couldn't do anything. Even if they wanted to, they didn't dare to because they knew that there were countless eyes watching behind them. Of course, they also had a purpose, and that was to protect these people. If something went wrong, they would definitely protect the geniuses of their own forces. It's here. Let me see which treasure it is. Everyone stared at the light. An object emitting white light slowly rose into the void along the light pillar that connected the void. It's here. Everyone stared at the treasure closely. Right now, he couldn't make a move. This treasure was currently surrounded by an extremely terrifying amount of heaven and earth spirit chi. It was extremely powerful. If he were to rush over, the explosive power would instantly send him flying and even cause irreversible damage. When could you make a move? This was easy to judge. As a top expert, you could feel the strength of the heaven and earth spirit chi. That's the sky-flipping seal. Everyone's pupils suddenly shrank when they saw the treasure. Of course, except for some people who didn't recognize the sky-flipping seal. It's actually the sky-flipping seal, this. I didn't expect it to be the sky-flipping seal. This sky-flipping seal shouldn't have recognized a master, right? If it has recognized a master, then the situation is serious. I don't think so. A powerful existence like the cataclysmic seal shouldn't be able to recognize a master so easily. However, if the demonic beast and the cataclysmic seal had existed for a long time, it might be able to borrow some of the cataclysmic seal's power. Lin Xian looked up at the sky-flipping seal. It's actually this thing. The reputation of the sky-flipping seal was still very big. As long as your realm was a little higher and you understood enough things, you could always see the records of the sky-flipping seal in some ancient books. This sky-flipping seal was ranked third among the 10 great sacred tools. The top 3 of the 10 great sacred tools was an absolute crushing qualitative change. In short, the 10 great sacred tools had different effects, but there was always a rating. According to the ancient records, the top 3 of the 10 great sacred tools crushed the other 7 mysterious sky saint tools in terms of power and exaggeration. Many people guessed that it might be the bottom 5 this time, but they didn't expect that it would be the third-ranked sky-flipping seal. What was the effect of this sky-flipping seal? It was said that there were many effects, but there was one most substantial effect, and that was a terrifying attack and boundary power. You can use the power of the overturning sky seal to erupt with a very powerful might. The most terrifying thing is the barrier. The overturning sky seal can create some barriers. This kind of barrier is even a bit similar to the power of space. It doesn't simply trap you, it can even erupt with a power similar to the explosion of space, causing you to die directly inside. And this kind of power was very strong. Pleasantly surprised, but uneasy. Chapter 1837. Everyone raised their heads and stared intently at the heaven upheaval seal. Prepare to attack. Many people whispered to the people around them. When should they attack? That was simple. Once the energy disappeared, he could make his move. Be careful. Lin Xian said to the people behind him. Got it. Don't attack yet. Let them attack first. Lin Xian continued. What if they escape? After all, everyone was prepared. It shouldn't be that easy to escape. Even the other human factions aren't weak. But don't forget, this is the heaven upheaval seal. And there might be a powerful fey beast eyeing it. If the rest of you let the person who snatched the heaven upheaval seal escape, will this fey beast be able to? It will be the first to say no. Yeah. Morong Yu nodded before saying, there's no need for us to compete with them. Why don't we conserve our strength and find an opportunity to let them attack first? The main reason was that Morong Yu knew what Lin Xian was worried about. Apart from the powerful fey beast and tonight's special situation, he was also worried about Zhao Mengyue and company. That's right, Lin Xian was still searching for traces of Zhao Mengyue and company. He believed that she would definitely come. Shua, above the void, the heaven upheaval seal blasted out a powerful force. To the people beneath, this was a feeling of bliss. This was because this force was the powerful heaven and earth spiritual energy. Anyone who obtained the heaven upheaval seal would definitely be able to easily cross the gap of 2 to 3 stars in the heavenly Tao realm. This was just the combat strength that the heaven upheaval seal could bring them. If one added the ability to fight across realms, a genius would be able to obtain the heaven upheaval seal. The enhancement would be immense. Furthermore, this was only a superficial enhancement. The heaven upheaval seal's strength would only become stronger. Attack. Upon seeing the force erupt, the heaven upheaval seal appeared above the void. Although there was still a powerful force protecting it, if one was strong enough, they might be able to obtain the heaven upheaval seal. Lin Xian looked up. No. The heaven upheaval seal had yet to be recognized as its owner. Forcefully taking it in this state was dangerous. Of course, it did not mean that it was completely impossible. But why didn't Lin Xian allow them to attack? Firstly, even if he obtained it, he would be surrounded by everyone. Secondly, he still didn't know the situation of that demonic beast, so he had to be careful. Shua shua shua. At the same time, many experts from all directions rushed toward the cataclysmic seal above the void. They were also using all kinds of special powers, spiritual weapons, and props. Their idea was very simple. As long as they got the cataclysmic seal, they would immediately run away. This was because they had a rule. You could compete here, you could fight. But if someone got the cataclysmic seal and brought it back, then it would belong to that person. You wouldn't have any reason to fight for it. Otherwise, the 3 major forces and even the Radiant Association would intervene. Of course, you can still do it secretly. You still want to fight with me? A man's eyes narrowed when he saw over 100 people rushing towards him. Great storm. Crash. A very powerful wind attribute martial skill appeared. This martial skill didn't have the ability to defeat all of them, but it could definitely obstruct them. 0.1 seconds was enough for him to grasp the sky-flipping seal first. The storm obstructed the others. I'm about to get it. The man raised his head and looked at the sky-flipping seal with a surprised expression. Just as he was about to get close to the sky-flipping seal, a powerful force erupted from the sky-flipping seal. Puff! He spat out a mouthful of blood directly, then his figure fell to the ground. He quickly got up from the ground. How can it be? How can there be such a strong force around the sky-flipping seal? Logically speaking, even if it was the sky-flipping seal, after it was born, it should be looking for someone who could control it. Logically speaking, it shouldn't erupt with such a strong force. Many others also rushed up and fell to the ground in unison. No. No. This sky-flipping seal is controlled by some kind of force. Suddenly, a strong expert shouted. Some experts in the distance were also paying attention to the situation here. Lin Xian stood there, frowning. That's right. Although the sky-flipping seal has its own consciousness to protect itself, at this moment, the sky-flipping seal showed a consciousness to attack. It's a demonic beast. It's that demonic beast. It must be that demonic beast secretly controlling the sky-flipping seal. Someone shouted. Quick! That demonic beast must be nearby, find it. If they didn't deal with this demonic beast, it would be very difficult to get the sky-flipping seal. Everyone expected that the demonic beast had the power to control the sky-flipping seal, because this was a very normal thing. After staying with the sky-flipping seal for so long, it couldn't control the sky-flipping seal, but it could definitely use a small amount of the sky-flipping seal's power. Lin Xian opened his eye of cave spirit and also searched. However, in such an environment, the eye of cave spirit was really difficult to search. Because the surrounding spiritual power of heaven and earth was too strong, every point and every place was filled with an unknown amount of spiritual power of heaven and earth, causing Lin Xian to want to find some clues, but he couldn't see it all. His eyes were filled with the flow of spiritual power of heaven and earth. He suspected that someone here was the demonic beast in human form, but Lin Xian didn't see it either. This moon mountain was big enough, and it might even be in the crowd below. Lin Xian couldn't be sure. However, at this moment, suddenly, a tragic scream was heard, attracting everyone's attention. Everyone looked in the direction of the scream. They saw a pair of bloody hands being pulled out of a person's chest. Pudong, the heavenly Tao realm genius's heart was crushed as he slowly knelt to the ground. Slowly, he sprawled on the ground as the figure behind him entered everyone's eyes. It was a person who looked like a very coquettish woman. She didn't look special, but she appeared extremely gloomy and sinister. Heh. She held her bloody right hand and crushed the heart into mincemeat. Then, she raised her bloody hand, allowing the mincemeat to land in her mouth. Following that, she stuck out her tongue to lick the corner of her mouth. The heart of a heavenly Tao realm is still very delicious. Her eyes focused as she leaped, widening the distance between her and everyone. This is a demonic beast. Everyone, let's finish her off first. A man from the Light Association bellowed. Yeah. Everyone nodded. Clearly, if they didn't finish her off, they wouldn't be able to snatch the sky-flipping seal in peace. Finish me off? With a bunch of trash like you? The corners of her mouth curled slightly. Chapter 1838. Lin Xian glanced at the woman. Her realm wasn't especially high. Lin Xian could still detect that her realm was only at the Heavenly Tao Realm 7 stars. The Heavenly Tao Realm 7 stars and not 8 stars was a realm they could cross. This was because the Heavenly Tao Realm 8 stars was the biggest gap in the Heavenly Tao Realm. Among them, the highest realm was at the Heavenly Tao Realm 5 stars. However, it didn't matter because they had the numbers advantage. There were more than 100 Heavenly Tao Realm experts. Even if a Heavenly Tao Realm 7 star could crush everyone in terms of realm, none of them were to be trifled with. Furthermore, there were so many of them with so many means. I really don't understand what gives you the right to appear. Do you think nothing of all of us here? Do you think your realm is high enough? I think you have been here for too long that you have lost your mind. Tianlin stood there and said indifferently. The imposing aura around his body was slightly surging. It was as if he was indeed a very strong expert. The woman licked her lips. Just the few of you really aren't enough. In fact, these experts roughly knew that she wasn't a fool. Was she courting death by appearing in front of so many people? However, her appearance meant that she had a certain level of confidence. Ha ha, then do you know how many human clan experts are keeping an eye on this place? Tian Lin sneered. In fact, he didn't wish to fight either. She was a heavenly Tao Realm 7-star, and an extremely powerful one at that. Even if there were so many people here, she definitely had the ability to kill or even heavily injure many of them. He might even be one of them. After all, after reaching the heavenly Tao realm, many of the injuries one suffered would easily leave behind hidden injuries. This was because it wasn't easy for one to be injured at the heavenly Tao realm. Therefore, if he could scare her away, it would be excellent for them to compete with each other. Unfortunately, the woman sneered. Open. She leaped up as a powerful force blasted out. Then, the heaven upheaval seal rapidly spun in the void as a white force blasted out. No good. Quickly enter. The eyes of many experts in the distance suddenly narrowed when they saw this scene. Then, they all rushed towards Moon Mountain. Because they couldn't appear on the Moon Mountain, they stayed a certain distance away from the Moon Mountain. They knew that there would be powerful fey beasts, but they also knew that no matter how powerful they were, as long as they did not reach the 8 stars of the heavenly Tao realm, they would not pose much of a threat. With so many children around and their outstanding abilities, nothing serious would happen. Even if something might happen, with so many elders here, it was only a distance of 1,000 meters. They would be able to help them in a very short time. So, they felt that their presence would be able to guarantee the safety of the geniuses in their respective powers. As for who could snatch the sky-flipping seal, that would depend on their own abilities. But, they never thought that the connection between the demonic beast and the overturning sky seal had reached such a deep level. It was reasonable for her to be able to borrow the sky-flipping seal's strength, but for her to be able to use the sky-flipping seal's strength to release a powerful barrier was ridiculous. This was because the sky-flipping seal's main strength was its barrier. From what they knew, only after the sky-flipping seal recognized a master could one use it to release a powerful barrier. If it did not recognize a master, one could at most borrow the sky-flipping seal's strength. That was all. Therefore, they really did not expect it. And clearly, the woman had failed to make the sky-flipping seal recognize her as its master. If she had succeeded, the sky-flipping seal would not have appeared. She would have left with the sky-flipping seal. Bang! Everyone was blocked when they charged over. Damn it! Damn it! They crazily released a terrifying power to attack the barrier that was blocking them, but it was completely ineffective. The overwhelming power was scattered everywhere. This barrier was so strong that not only could they not break it, but it also had a rebounding power. All of their attacking power was rebounded and blasted back at them. This is bad. They frowned. This was really bad. If they could release one barrier, they could release a second one, or even all kinds of barriers. They did not have the strength to break the sky-flipping seal's barrier. What do we do? Seventh Elder, what do we do now? Many people looked at the Seventh Elder of the Radiance Association. The Seventh Elder frowned. The sky-flipping seal's strength is one of the best in the world. To break the sky-flipping seal's barrier, I'm afraid only a heavenly Tao Realm 10-star can do it. Either wait for the barrier to disappear automatically, or use the sky-flipping seal to remove it. The Seventh Elder pondered. Heavenly Tao Realm 10-star. The Radiance Association must have a heavenly Tao Realm 10-star, right? The Seventh Elder said, I'll contact them now. It might take some time. I hope that these children will be fine. Their confidence was based on their presence, so they could guarantee the safety of this group of children. But now, a powerful barrier was blocking them, causing them to be particularly flustered. There's no need to panic. There are no less than 200 heavenly Tao realm experts on MT Moon. That woman's realm is only at the heavenly Tao realm 7-star. Even if she can borrow the sky-flipping seal's strength, she's at most an 8-star. Although the disparity is huge, as long as they are united, the many heavenly Tao experts can definitely turn the situation around. Said an elder. That's true. This was because everyone had laws and domains. With more than 200 laws and domains, even a heavenly Tao Realm 7-star would not be able to withstand them. But what if? Save me! Save me! In front of them, inside the barrier, thousands of people were hammering at the barrier with all their might. They were panicking and horrified. They wanted to come out, but they could not. These were warriors with low cultivation realms who had come from various places to watch the show. They never expected to be trapped while watching a show at the foot of Mt. Moon. They were already very careful. They did not even go up the mountain, but they were still trapped? It was especially horrifying. This feeling of helplessness made them especially afraid. There was a group of experts in front of them. Especially when they saw that this group of top experts of the continent had released an extremely powerful force to bombard the barrier, but it was useless. This made them even more afraid. Didn't that mean that they were turtles in a jar? If all the experts on Mt. Moon died, would none of them survive? Just the thought of this made them feel especially horrified. On the mountain, everyone, fight together. Chapter 1839. The woman posed a huge threat to them. After all, her realm was there for all to see. Apart from her realm, she could also control the Heaven Upheaval Seal's powers. They had to work together to finish her off first. Attack! So, then, countless experts charged at the woman from every direction. Shall we attack? Zhuge Feng asked. There's no rush. The difference in our realms is a little too great. Let's find an opportunity, said Lin Xian as he stared at the woman who was fighting the crowd. All right. No one would say anything even if they did not attack. After all, they were only at the 1 or 2-star heavenly Tao realm. However, it did not mean that they could stay idle forever. They could use their attributes, domains, and other factors to help. As for Lin Xian, he was using his Eye of Cave Spirit to probe something. Lin Xian's Eye of Cave Spirit could clearly probe the woman's abilities without holding anything back. 9-headed expanse flood dragon. Lin Xian pondered as he looked at the woman in battle. That's right, this was the woman's species, a 9-headed expanse flood dragon. How should it be described? It was considered a top-notch fey beast and was extremely powerful. However, it was a flood dragon and had yet to reach the level of a dragon. Even so, it was already an extremely top-notch existence. Then, Lin Xian saw some of her abilities. This was where Lin Xian's confidence came from. Lin Xian could see her abilities, laws, domains, attributes, or fey techniques. Undying body? Why does she have the power of an undying body? Lin Xian frowned suddenly. An undying body was a special ability of the undead. Of course, it did not mean that an undying body was truly undying. Instead, it meant that an undying body had extremely exaggerated self-healing abilities. What did it mean? For example, if one was injured, one did not need to do a thing. One's undying body would passively heal them at an extremely fast speed. For example, if an arm was chopped off, one could automatically regrow it in a short period of time. This was a very, very exaggerated ability. This was also why the undead clan was so strong, why people were so afraid, and why the human clan panicked when they knew that the undead clan had joined the Myriad Demon Alliance. This ability was indeed very exaggerated. Of course, the immortal body wasn't truly immortal. There were 2 ways to break the immortal body. First, the speed at which you deal damage is faster than the speed at which it recovers. Even if it's an immortal body, even if its recovery speed is very fast, it still needs time. But is this theoretically possible? In theory, as long as the disparity between their realms wasn't too great, how could you be continuously injured by one person? The second method to destroy the undying body was instant kill. That was right. If he killed him in one move, then the immortal body would be useless. What was the use of the immortal body when the person was already dead? But no matter if it was the former or the latter, there was still difficulty. It didn't matter if the difference in cultivation level was too great, but if your cultivation level was very close, whether it was the former or the latter, it would be very difficult to achieve. This was also the reason why the immortal body was so exaggerated. In theory, the higher your cultivation level, the stronger the immortal body. But Lin Xian didn't understand. Why did the nine-headed boundless dragon have the power of the immortal body? Could it be that she was born from the nine-headed boundless dragon and the undead clan? This was the only reason Lin Xian could think of. Then it was troublesome. Her strength was very, very strong, and her cultivation level suppressed them. Now, even if they had more than 200 Heavenly Dao experts, they actually had the advantage in this battle. But if they managed to injure her with great difficulty, and she simply used the immortal body to recover, how could they fight? No wonder she dared to appear. That was because she really did have the confidence to do so. In this situation, not to mention them, even if many experts from the outside came in, they might not be able to kill her. Pooh, one expert after another was injured. After all, they were Heavenly Dao experts. Even when facing experts of this level, they wouldn't die so easily. Storm of swords. Tian Lin found an opportunity and flashed behind the woman. Storm of swords erupted. Swish. His realm was at the Heavenly Dao realm at 4 stars. With powerful martial techniques and augmentation, he was definitely able to deal damage to a Heavenly Dao realm at 7 stars. He even had the augmentation of laws. It's a success. When everyone saw Tian Lin's powerful strike hit the woman, they revealed looks of pleasant surprise. Pooh! A smear of blood seeped out from the corner of the woman's mouth. Together. However, the powerful effects of the immortal body manifested. Such injuries weren't considered serious for the woman. In just 2 seconds, she recovered to her original state. Bang! She struck Tian Lin with her palm, but he reacted quickly. He produced a powerful defense, but the difference in strength was still too great. He was sent flying. Time slowly passed. Lin Xian and company also joined the battle. However, as the person who knew the most, Lin Xian had been thinking of a solution. Why didn't Lin Xian tell everyone that the woman had an immortal body? The reason was simple. Perhaps from the woman's point of view, they didn't know of her immortal body. If they continued acting, she would believe that they didn't know of her immortal body. Once she knew that they knew of her immortal body, would she raise her guard? Lin Xian wasn't certain. He had to think of a solution. Strange, why hasn't this Fey beast's combat strength decreased? Quite some time had passed and they had injured the woman numerous times. Logically speaking, her combat strength should have decreased, but it didn't decrease at all. Furthermore, there was something that left everyone puzzled. She didn't seem to be using her full strength. Why? Logically speaking, shouldn't she try her best to avoid stalling for time? Or could it be that she was confident that the enchantment outside could completely block everyone? Then why didn't she use the Heaven Upheaval Seal's other powers? Or could it be that she had lost the ability to use the Heaven Upheaval Seal's powers? Who could say for sure? But she could even use the Heaven Upheaval Seal's enchantment powers. It's really strange. Why do I feel like she's playing with us? I have the same feeling. Her combat strength is so much stronger than us, but she hasn't used her full strength. She's just playing with us. Why is that? Could it be that she hasn't come out for so long, so she wants to play with us for fun? Suddenly, everyone realized this point. That had better be the case. She'll regret it. Everyone, don't hide anymore. Use your full strength. Tian Lin coldly snorted and opened his domain. You're tuning in to the Narrate and Escape YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.